Hello, everyone, and welcome to the XBL Party Podcast UK, episode 18. I am your host, Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and I am joined today by TheGinnaGaming. How's it going, good sir?
I'm good.
Sending best wishes to Redders in chat. He's not joining us on stream today, but he is out and about, lurking in the YouTube chats. May God have mercy on your soul. We are joined today by two special guests. So I'm going to start with Harry from, and I've totally forgot the full title of your podcast. It's the Gamers Watch podcast, I believe, is correct.
Watch podcast, that's the one.
That's the one, yes, which is an awesome podcast that you should watch. They've got some absolutely fantastic production values on it. We were just talking about it prior to going live, so give them a check. When you can.
Talking of really good production values, are you ready for my stupid introduction I've been planning?
We're ready.
Okay. So I'm channeling some energy from Summer Games Fest. So, hey everyone, it's Harry the Lock Johnson here, and look at this energy drink. Look, I've not got a shirt on, and I'm energy drink. You want? I have an energy drink, and Black Adam is a film that exists. Energy drink.
Oh man!
Look at my muscles. Energy drink. Drink the energy drink and watch the film. The film and the energy drink. Games exist. Right, I'm going to turn my camera off now. You've all seen enough.
That's it. We're all demonetized. Thanks for that. That's not Bobwitch Show now. That's it. We're block deleted.
Sorry for that, guys.
That was great.
Goodness.
That was better than Ginna's masterpiece. That still hasn't arrived yet. We're still waiting for him to turn up as the Queen one day. I don't think it's ever coming. I think we've been sold a ringer. And we've got
I've got to put my shirts back on. Just a second.
And we've got another special guest whose username I'm going to try and pronounce. It's been a long discussion this morning how we're not sure how it's pronounced, so we're all going to give it a go. So I believe it's like Llouck7, but it could be so. It looks like double L OUCK7. What would you say it is, Ginna? And you've got a mute on, so none of us can hear you. Come on, He's chickening out. Look, he's chickening out.
On purpose, because just press the button. Press the mute button.
All right, you caught me out. Out of iLuck or iLouck7?
Oh no.
Or
Harry.
If it's a double L, it'd be Llouck7.
No.
John.
What?
John, isn't it?
It's
John.
John. Of course it's John. No. Actually, the correct pronunciation is Llouck7.
Close enough. We were close. We were all very close. John being the closest, clearly.
Obviously, John was the best.
But yeah, it's great to have you on the show. It's been a very busy week for gaming. Like I say, we've just had the Summer Games Fest week, including obviously the Summer Games Fest show. There was the Capcom show. Black Adam, a lot of Black Adam, lots of topless rock. We had the Xbox Bethesda showcase and extended showcase, which literally finished about half an hour ago. There was Devolver's show. There was the PC game show. There was the Future of Gaming showcase. There was the Day of the Devs. Netflix had an atrocious show. I sat and watched that, and I don't know why I watched it. I got suckered in by Keeley saying he was hosting it. I thought, well, it might have some decent games. No, it was terrible. I mean, the anime they showed looked good, but the 90% mobile game tat did not. Like the whole thing where they made a big song and dance about that chess TV show. They have a TV show about chess.
Yeah.
And they made a big song and dance that there's a game about this chess game. But it's not just about chess, and it looked just like it was just about chess to me. And I was like, "Oh right, what a waste!"
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but chess is like the oldest game in the world. It's like a 5,000-year-old game. It's not breakthrough in gaming that they've realised, is it?
No. So we've had that, which was awful. So yeah, it is what it is. There was other shows as well I can't remember the names of. There was like a wholesome indie show. and a couple of others. It's been a mad week. I love it when they stick it all on one week and they don't drag it out over 3 months like they did last year, pretty much. So we're going to jump into that in a second. I'm just going to shout out to everyone in chat. So we've got Meisuko, Redders, Berserker this, Fabio, Thimber. Big thank you guys for jumping in the chat and chatting. Leave a comment and let us know sort of your sort of highlights from the last week, and we'll shout out about them soon. Meisuko has mentioned there was the Tribeca show as well. There's so many. I mean, we covered a few, and that was enough. But there's so many. I wish I had done the Capcom show yesterday. I quite enjoyed what I watched it in the end, late after it had aired, and I quite enjoyed some of the stuff after the Monster Hunter. Whatever it is, 17 different Monster Hunter games.
Monster Hunter Rise, yeah,
the Resident Evil stuff was really good, actually, and I wasn't expecting it to be. So, apologies I didn't stream that live yesterday, everyone. I've just been a bit burnt out from doing so many streams over the last week.
No Dino Crisis, though.
Yeah. Oh, we're never getting it. We are never getting Dino Crisis. No. It was the fact they did that Capcom game and they did that tease and they had the space, like the sort of sci-fi futuristic stuff. They had a dinosaur and then it wasn't Dino Crisis. They teased us and then they ripped it away like evil Capcom.
Yep.
Exo Primal.
That's it, yeah. And like, I'd rather it had been just a Dino Crisis game, but I'll still play it. They've got me. It's got dinosaurs in it, so I'll give it a go.
Might as well.
But before we jump into the sort of main topic and stuff like that, what have you guys been playing these last few days? I'll start with you, Harry. Have you been playing anything of interest or note?
Yeah, so I've been playing 2 games. I've just finished a game that I would probably say is the best game I've ever played. I've been playing The Return of the Obra Dinn, and I've just completed it.
Nice.
And I am obsessed with it. It's by the same fella, Lucas Pope, who made Papers, Please. And you play as a detective that goes onto a ship, and you have a time-traveling stopwatch, and you have to try and determine the fate of all 60 people on the boat. But the way you do it is each body that you find, you go to a snapshot of how that person died, and you have to walk around the final moment memory, and you have to piece together who everyone is. You might get a clue, like an NPC might have their name said, or they might, as a passing note, you might recognize the language they're speaking, or they might sit together with everyone of that certain job that they do or the certain nationality that they are, and you have this docket of everyone that's on the ship, and you have to place each person and then what happened to them. I put about 30 hours into it. My frustration is I can't go back and play it again because it's a one and done, because I know everyone's fate. But I'm absolutely obsessed to it, to the point where me and Paul from TheGinnaGaming are probably going to get together and do a sit-down chat where we just talk about the actual experience of the game itself, because it's probably the best game in terms of a detective puzzle game I've ever played, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. And then I've also been playing Coffee Talk on Game Pass, which
I like
just
Coffee
a really
Talk.
chill game where you make coffee, and it's really, really nice and chill, and with all the like bombastic, massive AAA games that are being released and $300 million budgets, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 being the same as the last one, but it's apparently different. It's nice to just be able to play quite a lot of indie games through Game Pass. So yeah, Obra Dinn and Coffee Talk.
Yeah, I do like Coffee Talk, and they're actually making a sequel to it, which is awesome. I hope it comes to Game Pass as well. Really fun little chill game. So, what about you, Ginna? What have you been playing?
I'll mute again, and I. So I've been playing a bit of Fortnite, trying something different, you know. Dive into that. I know you're a big fan. And Civ 6, I had it on actually when I joined in with you guys earlier. Civ 6 has got its claws into me again. It's one of those games where I won't touch it for a while, and then I'll put like 40 hours in 3 days and wonder how I've managed to do it. So yeah, I'm currently Australia trying to dominate the Pacific and South Asia, so that's fun. And the other game I tried was that Metal Hellsinger. They released a demo after showing it at the Xbox show.
Ooh, good game.
That game is fantastic. Yeah, it's so good. It's Doom Eternal meets Rock Band.
Nice.
And it's just, I've said I'm going to do a stream tomorrow and record it and put it up on the channel. But I started playing, and you're listening to the music, and you're you've got like the bars coming in like Rock Band, and you've got to shoot in tune to the music. So you're there casually doing it and trying to get you perfect. And by the time you get to the boss, you're sat there, your whole body's moving in the music, and you're shooting people to the beat, and you're not even looking at the things anymore. And it's just, so much fun. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a day one pickup for me, all through a little demo. Excellent game.
I like it when demos are good like that and they get you in. That sounds like, is it bullets per minute? I played a game recently. I did a review a couple of months back, and that was similar. It played like Doom, but you had to go in time to the beats, but it didn't look half as good as that one does. But it was more like
Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah, Metal Hellsinger. That one looked so much better, whereas Bullets Per Minute, I believe it's called, it was more sort of like room-based, like old school Doom, plodding room to room, sort of dungeon exploring, but you're still doing it in like time with the music. But it didn't have like the licensed awesome soundtrack that it's getting with like original music from the guy from System of a Down and stuff. So I'm well up for that.
All the music's all DMCA free as well that they've put in the game, so you can stream it without fear of copyright, which is always good.
Is Serge from
Serge Tankin writing the music for the game. So
he's written one song.
Yeah.
They've got a load of people, random people. Not I say random, they're not random. They're probably well known for the bands they're in, but they haven't got the full bands. They've got
off the street.
They've got like they've gone into like each sort of metal band and gone, right, we'll have that guy from it to do a song. They'll have that one to do a song. They don't want to pay the full band, but we've got like brand new songs from people from famous sort of metal bands and stuff, which is cool. I'm happy for it. I mean, Thingy from System of a Down did a lot of solo stuff anyway, and it all sounds the same. Do you know what I mean? Because it's got his sort of theme to it and that. So I'm happy. That was one of the highlights definitely of the showcases from the last week.
Graphically, it's really good as well, considering it's meant to be quite a small studio working on it. I'm surprised just how good and how fluid the gameplay was as well. Yeah, it's really good.
Duncan in the chat from our podcast had just said that Thumper is a good music rhythm action game as well. For anyone that's sort of,
I'll have to look at that one up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I really want to play
Space Station 5 on the Dreamcast.
Oh yes, which is on Xbox as well. You can get it on. It's on backwards compatibility through the Xbox 360 version at the moment as well. I believe it was last time I looked. I really want to play that drum game on Game Pass. The little cute-looking Tetsuno something or other, where it looks like a little drum thing. It looks amazing. I just haven't got around to it yet.
The longest name. It's hard. It's really hard. It's only 2 buttons. I can't remember what it's called. Someone in the chat will have to say what it's called.
From Heroes, is that the one? You're on the back of a car.
No. It's literally like a drum with a face.
There we go.
Danganronpa.
Yeah, it's like
Danganronpa. It's only 2 buttons, so it's either A and B or the triggers. But it's so difficult. It really ramps the difficulty up very quickly. And I used to be quite good at Guitar Hero, so I thought, I'll probably be able to pick it up. But I'm 30 now and I'm blind, so it didn't work very well. So yeah, it was a really difficult game, but very cutesy. Lots of anime music to sort of like bob your head to. So even if you do lose, you're listening to a little chibi girl talk about, I don't know, rescuing a cat from the moon or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was
classic then.
It's in Game Pass. It's pretty fun, yeah.
I downloaded it and I've not actually got around to play it yet.
Tatsujin.
That's it. Taiko no Tatsujin, and I believe it's a spin-off of Danganronpa. Shout out to Muppet and obviously Dunk's Voice in chat who've joined in since I shouted a few other people out. Thanks for joining us on this actually quite warm and clear Tuesday evening for a change in the UK. It's been a bit muggy this last week, hasn't it? You're muted again, Ginna. Need to push your little button, mate.
Sorry, I got people walking in and out. They decided now is the perfect time to microwave food. So
you work in you literally stream out the back of like a restaurant, don't you? Don't lie, because you're always eating like takeaway. I think you literally turn the camera around. There's a full kitchen cooking up like takeaways and stuff like that. You're on Uber Eats, aren't you?
Because you guys couldn't hear it, I was scared it would come through. The kids are up. They're meant to be in bed, but they keep getting up, and I could hear one of the other adults, I'm not sure which one, through the wall shouting, "You don't need to look at the poo. Just flush it and go to bed." So I was like, wow, just mute myself for that bit. Does it get spicy?
Yeah, we don't need that. Although that's probably quite upbrow for some of the stuff we talk about. So
It is. Yeah. One thing I did try this week, I forgot to mention, I got a mouse and keyboard, and I tried playing some games on mouse and keyboard instead of a controller, because I haven't done it since I was about like 15, 16. Apart from RTSs, I haven't played an FPS with a mouse and keyboard for about 20 years now. And yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Speaking of that, I literally sold my Razer turret like 2 weeks ago because it was just gathering dust. The only thing I used was the mouse for my laptop, even though it was that one built for Xbox. But they announced it with like those 20 games, and then they never added like anything to it after that. So I bought it anticipating greatness, and it was one of those half-baked, we'll sell you it, but we'll not actually support it sort of thing. So it's a very expensive paperweight.
I found that hitting things at distance is so much easier on a mouse and keyboard. The accuracy you can get at distance is incredible. If somebody stands a foot away from me, I go into pure panic mode and I hit everything other than the person stood a foot away from me. So, yeah, I need to find, like, maybe if I can have both working at once so I can snipe with the mouse and keyboard and then switch to controller when I get close, that would be perfect. But that's the dream. Anyway, that's the week. I know, first world problems. I want a half mouse keyboard hybrid controller. That's all.
That's the future. I'll get that developed for you next week. We'll get it trademarked.
I'm fairly certain. Didn't Steam try that with their controller that had touchpads on it?
That was the word. Have you ever used that controller? Oh my god!
No.
The thumb pads weren't thumb pads. They were just like smooth discs. But have you ever rubbed your finger over something that really is horrible to like it goes through you? And every time you were shooting, you were like, I were cringing. That was another one of those things I bought. I bought it with that Steam, not the deck, the Steam Link, the little box that connected it to your telly.
Yeah.
Used it like 5 times and it never got ever needed. And then I just decided, oh look, I can plug my laptop in via HDMI, and that got rid of that use of that. So, right, how do you pronounce your username properly then? I don't butcher it for the rest of the show.
I already corrected you, Llouck. It's Llouck7.
Llouck7, right.
Yes,
so I want to make sure I'm not butchering it through the entire show because I'm terrible, and I have butchered a lot of people's names over the many, many podcasts we have done. Ginna can attest to that. So what have you been playing recently? Anything of interest?
I've been out of the house with the missus. That's why the camera's crap and the lighting's horrible. I didn't bring my stuff with me. So basically, I've just been playing Football Manager because my laptop's not that great. So I only game on Xbox and PlayStation. So yeah, Football Manager pretty much.
I do like Football Manager. I used to like the old school ones, like
Championship Manager.
Yeah, and like 98 and stuff like that. Back in like when it was all just fully text based, you didn't get these fancy sort of like computer graphics of the games playing. It was just literally text.
It was like teletext, eFax, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but it's not bad though.
No, I prefer the old ones to the new ones. I think the new ones are fantastic, but there's a nostalgia going back and playing like classic Football Manager games where
nostalgia.
Everyone is out of date, and you're like, hey, I actually know that footballer because I couldn't name anyone in any football team at this moment in time. Whereas like Football Manager, I could play, Cantona's in that one. I'm good. I'm sorted. So as you can tell,
I think the only weak point in the new Football Manager games is if you pick one of the big teams, then in like 2 seasons, if you know what you're doing, you're dominating 90% of the time. You know?
Yeah.
There's really no point. There's no challenge, and you can't up the difficulty or whatever. So, but basically, all I ever do is do the journeyman save. So I always started Palmeiras in Brazil, and then it takes me about 6 to 7 years to finally get a job in like Ajax or Getafe or something like that. You know, these mid-level teams.
Yeah.
And then another 10 years, and finally Man United call me. Then I go.
That's the best way.
Man United usually calls me in like 1 or 2 months before the next Football Manager comes out. So it's a nice cycle. Before I get bored with Football Manager, the new one's out, and I have to restart all over again in Brazil. Lots of fun.
Oh, I used to
Duncan
enjoy
from our
it.
show is a massive Football Manager player. He puts hundreds of hours into them, and he actually put last year's Football Manager as his best simulation game of the year over Flight Sim. Like, that's how good he thought the last one was.
Oof. Okay.
And yeah, he is absolutely obsessed with them.
To be fair, there's a lot more gameplay to Football Manager than Flight Sim. If you don't like a very slow flight,
Yeah.
yes, Flight Sim is beautiful, and like that new Halo edition is. I want to play it, but I refuse to spend another 7 years downloading Flight Sim and all the expansion packs to be able to play it again. Yeah. But
it is so big.
It's so beautiful and so big. But if you don't like Flight Sims, there's not much there for you. At least with Football Manager, there's a bit of a gameplay to it. Do you know what I mean? Even me, who doesn't like follow football, can enjoy Football Manager. Do you know what I mean? So
the interesting thing for me with Flight Sim is how it utilizes the cloud on the go.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be better if it used Google Maps instead of Bing, because who the hell uses Bing? But I do. It gets you your reward points, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hey, I log in every day and search A.
Actually, there's no Microsoft reward points in Africa. So, no, I don't use Bing because of that.
You just use it.
I just
use it
because
use Bing.
I just like being a prick, you know? When everyone's going left, I want to go right. Like, I have no real reason for it. I just want to go the other way.
To be fair, have you ever tried Googling stuff on... Like, I say Googling. Have you ever tried searching stuff on Bing? The answers, you find things that you didn't know existed. Websites that literally, it's like anything that's not popular is on Bing, and not in a nasty way. But you find all these websites that get pushed down Google because Google only promote the ones that are paying them.
The first page of Bing is the 18th page of Google.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's great. It's great. I actually use it.
Backhanded compliment.
I learn lots of stuff from Bing, especially with the reward points, because you do those quizzes every day, and it's like, who was the 13th? Who's wrote this 13th century romance novel? I haven't got a clue, but you can click on them all, and it tells you all about them. So I learn stuff every day from Bing. It's great. Yeah,
I love Flight Sim because I like the way that it utilizes the cloud, and obviously an announcement has been made over the last few days that's got some people very upset. About a future cloud game that is potentially coming to Xbox.
The cloud game, okay? It's going to be the cloud game.
We will get to that soon. That's caused a lot of furor online, hasn't it? I've seen some funny reactions.
The thing is,
I hear there's going to be these big buildings.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
The whole buildings fall down with the power of the clouds.
Do you know what, right? Crackdown 3, I stand by this, is a fun game. The multiplayer is fun. Yeah. The only problem was they showed off that tech demo, which looked amazing, but then that company shit the bed and they fired them, and they got a different team to start from scratch who didn't use the cloud, but they didn't actually tell people. So people go, oh, look at this cloud game. It's not cloud. Crackdown 3 doesn't use the cloud in the end. They scrapped that. But they did it. This is one of Xbox's lack of communication problems. Same with this showcase, where people online think it went way crazy, and then literally as soon as the showcase started, they're like, oh, this is just in the next year. And I was like, great, this is perfect for me. But they could have told us that the day before, an hour before the show. They could have put a tweet out saying our showcase is going to focus on the next year, but
next 12 months.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Everyone asked for. It's what everyone has asked for.
I know.
What games are coming out in the next year? What games are coming out in the next year? Here's all the games that are coming out in the next year. What about Fable? It's not coming out in the next year, is it?
But it should. It should. I just forgot. I bought this Little Big Planet light on sale the other day, and it talks. I don't know if you can hear it when you switch it on. Doesn't do much, but I really wanted it, so I'm going to put it up there. Look, he's going to look into your soul. Fiver, best fiver spent. It was that or one that said Xbox, but the Xbox one was 25 quid, and I was like, that's a fiver and it's cuter, so gotta love Sackboy. Yeah. I do run an Xbox podcast, guys. Like I say, admittedly, everything behind us, PlayStation, PS5 there, Sackboy. There is a Series X box here, but the Series X is on the big telly, the important one, so... I'll jump into what I've been playing. I got into the beta for that Disney racing game this week, so I played a bit of that. So the gameplay isn't bad. It handles really well. There's a lot of boosting. It's a very boost-heavy kart racing game. So literally every corner you're boosting out of it. There's boost tracks everywhere. The abilities and the power-ups are a bit naff. They're not as over the top and exciting as sort of Mario Kart. But the tracks look fantastic. The only downside is you can tell it's a free-to-play game. Even in the beta, literally every character but Mickey is locked when you start. And you have to literally grind points to unlock more characters, and then a load of characters are locked behind actual paying for them. So I don't know how that'll equate to real-world cash.
Gaming
yeah, but it plays well. And like I say, if you only want to play like 5 characters, then your quid's in. But there's a lot of like different costume, like character variations by the looks, like different. But they're all in race suits instead of the costume. So you've got Hercules in a racing suit. You've got Captain Jack. Yeah, his head's Captain Jack, but then he's wearing a racing suit, and they all drive racing cars. Like, why did they not have like themed? Leave them in their own clothes, like Hercules in his outfit, Sully with all his hair out, and then the cars they drive themed to the like Captain Jack drives like a boat-looking one. Yeah. Oh, like Hercules, like riding something sort of mythological, or even like made out of rocks or something, like on
like a Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus is his special ability, so he has a special that is Pegasus. But none of all the cars are just like generic carts, which is a bit naff. But the core gameplay is good, but the overall it feels a bit nasty at the moment. So I've only played the first
grab.
Yeah, it feels like a cash grab. Unfortunately,
it only makes sense that they would like not look at the little details. It only makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the shame of it, pretty much.
That reminds me, actually,
we do put them all in the same jumpsuits. That's the best. That's the best game.
Pretty much.
That sounds exactly like an experience I did have, because I completely forgot. I played Diablo Immortal. Plays really well, really genuine. I love Diablo. Diablo 2 is one of the best games of all time. Diablo 3, I put so much time into. Diablo Immortal plays really well, genuinely a good Diablo game. Completely shit the bed, because you can tell that like as soon as you like turn your phone on, it's like buy this, gems, crystals, buy this dungeon, buy this, get this, do this now, get this thing.
I hate mobile games like that.
Money. It's so frustrating, because the genuine gameplay behind it is really good, but it's just like it's shameless, completely shameless.
I hate stuff like that. Yeah,
you can't progress unless you spend lots and lots of money, or just spend hours and hours and hours.
But did you finish the main campaign, Harry?
I uninstalled the game after like a day. I
hate games like that.
Popular research, you can finish the main campaign without interacting with the microtransactions. The issue is endgame.
Yeah, the frustration is that everything that you do is tied behind the paywall, and the campaign isn't really a campaign. It's like an extended tutorial. So I would say that the actual core gameplay itself, although it is very good, that campaign or story that they put into it is so bare bones, because when you play a Diablo game, you don't just play the story and then finish it. It's a dungeon crawling looter, and they've made dungeon crawling and loot chasing almost impossible to do. But don't you guys have a mobile?
I hate mobile games like that, though. I got that Lord of the Rings one that was out recently, and you can play for about 2 days, and then you just hit a wall where it's like everyone's either powers ahead because they're paying for it, or you just chug along and it's not fun. And I just spent more time clicking things like, why am I wasting my life doing this? So delete.
It makes me genuinely worried about Diablo 4, if I'm honest. I think that Diablo Immortal is a litmus test to see how much bullshit they can get away with. And then when Diablo 4 comes out, they've already said, like, oh yeah, there are microtransactions, but they're optional cosmetics. Well, I think if people thought that the auction house in Diablo 3 was shitty, just wait until Diablo 4 comes out, because I think it's going to be a microtransaction mess.
Which is a shame because it looks beautiful. Like, it looked amazing,
It
didn't
looks
it?
incredible.
So Diablo Immortal is already rated 0.2 on Metacritic. Do you guys think that Diablo 4 can break the record and become like a 0.1 when it comes out?
I don't think it will. I think it'll do semi well. I think they've just literally rebelling against it being a microtransaction mobile game. It depends. I think though it won't do as well as previous ones because it'll come to Game Pass by then. Hopefully, Activision will be part of Xbox and they'll slap it on.
It won't.
I don't know. Have they announced? No, but they've not announced it's launched on Game Pass. But I'm hoping by launch they will own Activision and then they'll just stick it on.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why I don't care if it doesn't come at launch straight away. But if they own Activision by then, which it may have gone through, it may not. But if it does, I think it'll then be a day one on Game Pass. And if it is on Game Pass, it will get review bombed because you can't have anything on Game Pass without being a negative on Metacritic. Even though they get the best rated, best publisher of the year Xbox got for their games,
average,
but you can't have it on user reviews. They'll absolutely bomb it to hell.
They weren't just the best for the year.
The best of all time, wasn't it?
Of all time.
I know.
That was insane.
The narrative that Xbox gets at the moment, like if you look online these last couple of days, no matter what Xbox could literally ring up every single PlayStation owner and go, here's £100, and we're giving you a free Xbox £100. Yeah, and it'd be, why is it not 200? Why is it not 500? Oh, you're just desperate. No matter what they do. Xbox outsells PlayStation 1 month. It's just a 1 month. Xbox does 10% of what it did in Japan. It sold the other week 10% of what it did in the lifetime of the Xbox One in a month or something in Japan. And everyone's like, that's crap. In a week, yeah, exactly. And it had a fantastic.
Series F doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. No one cares. Xbox isn't doing out in Japan. How dare they take those Japanese games away from us?
Series X sales for Series S and X, they're different consoles. Split those.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Harry! When they came up with that one, I was like, dude, the mental gymnastics that you guys are doing, this is insane.
Yeah, they count PS4 console sales and PS4 Pro console sales.
Exactly.
And 700 different versions of Switches, like Switch Pro, Switch Mini, Switch. There's probably another Switch out there I've forgotten about. Switch Lite, yeah.
Switch Lite, yeah.
Switch, yeah.
I'm someone who I interact with quite a lot on Twitter. Tweets just before the show went live that I'm damage controlling because I said that it's a shame Xbox has put nothing out for a year, like AAA wise. But if Sony didn't delay Gran Turismo 7, Horizon, and Ragnarok, no first-party AAAs this year that was announced, they would have also gone a year without launching. And they said, that's damage controlling. So no, that's a fact. They have no games. Factual. The only games they have were delayed from last year. If they hadn't have delayed them and they put them out in time, they also would not have released a single game this year. They just... if Microsoft could have done the same. They could have gone, we got a few games and nothing till November. Why don't we push back Psychonauts or Forza or Halo a bit longer? Probably should have. And then they would have been in the same boat, So
yeah. Halo definitely should have been pushed to like December this year, in my opinion.
So we get co-op at launch, you mean? Because we still haven't got it. Oh,
yes. Well, apparently it's still coming. The devs confirmed it on Twitter.
They're doing a test, aren't they, for co-op? Aren't they? They're doing a flight.
Yeah. With the what's it called? This special group of Xbox gamers.
Insider app. You can potentially play a buggy version of co-op on Halo Infinite. Can't wait. I mean,
it's a great.
The issue is save states, isn't it?
Me and Fabio played Halo 2 Legendary the other day on co-op, and it kicked us out like 3/4 of the way through one of the levels, and I were fuming. Took us like an hour to get there as well. So they weren't good. They've still not been good at co-op after all this time. So I don't hold a huge lot of hope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Is it the Ginna or the Ginna?
Ginna.
The Ginna.
If I go on American shows, I get called the Gina all the time.
Bob thought you were Gina for a while, and Fabio was like Gina. They thought you were a girl.
Gina.
Oh, we got Gina on the show this week. No, it's Ginna because he's ginger, not because he's female.
Oof. Also, I kind of switched the words and came up with a very, very bad like word or with the Ginna. I'm not gonna say the word, but yeah,
Not correct.
my mind switched them around, and it was very bad. Okay, the Ginna. Okay, got it.
Oh, I forget where we were up to now. What have I been playing? I finally bought the GTA Definitive Edition because it's on stupidly low price at Game at the moment, and Smiths you can get it for like 23 quid. So I picked it up, played a bit of Vice City. It looks fantastic, but there's no Michael Jackson in it, so it's a big negative. Like they couldn't even be asked to pay for the music. It's just a cheap ass port. But I love Vice City so much in GTA 3, so I'm looking forward to playing through them. Finally playing Origins properly because I've not played Assassin's Creed Origins in ages, so I'm sitting through that. And other than that, I've just been playing a load of sort of indie games to sort of beat Slayer in me achievement score this week or this month, should I say? So, Screen Cheat, that's good. We talked about that earlier, didn't we, Ginna? Screen Cheat. It's an FPS game where everyone is invisible, but you can see everyone's screen as you play. So you have to screen cheat in order to kill people because you don't know where they are, which is like a fun spin on cheating when you were a kid playing like GoldenEye. And I don't want to say GoldenEye; it'll upset people. It'll trigger them.
It's got online multiplayer for up to 8 players.
Yeah.
So when you're playing online, it does the same thing. You see 8 screens, one of which is yours, and you can see your gun. But the other ones, you can see where they are, but on your screen they're invisible. So you have to match up. All the maps are really colourful and bright.
Yeah, the colour-coded areas, like there's like a red, a green, a purple section.
And the bullets leave trails. When somebody thinks they found you and they shot, you'll see a bullet trail, so you know roughly where they're coming from. Then you're trying to find the screen in that area. Yes, excellent.
Yeah, good fun. And apparently there was a sequel or a remake of it on Switch. I don't know if it's coming out to Xbox or it has. But when I was like getting the images for the thumbnail, there's apparently a reloaded one or something. It looks a lot better, new weapons and new sort of graphics and stuff. So I'm going to look into that, see if it is actually on Xbox and have a try and grabbing it. So, but like I say, we'll jump into the sort of big topic this week. There isn't really much other news other than the big news. That is, it's non-E3 week because Jeff Keighley's going to try and steal it as his own. Like he's even announced a live show next year. He's doing a live event. Like he's literally going to put it on the same week just to be a dick.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but he's still going to do it. He's still going to do it. And
but E3's already been announced for next year. They said they're coming back.
Yeah, but they haven't got a date, and he's then also announced they're going to do a summer show around the same time in person as well, which is just. What did they do to him? Like, where did they touch him? Because, like, he's got a massive grudge against them, hasn't he? Like,
and it's like you've already got the Game Awards. You want more?
After that last Summer Games Fest, though, I don't want a Summer Games Fest. I'm happy for the Game Awards, although I'd like to see the awards get a bit more focused than, like, the Ryan Reynolds and stuff. But the Summer Games Fest show was a bit boring, in my opinion. There was some good stuff announced.
I don't like Jeff Keighley. He's got a superiority complex that I really like. I have an ego, and everyone knows I have an ego. He is another level on top of that. I really, really dislike him, and I don't like the way that he portrays himself as like the savior of video games. Like, oh, E3's gone, but don't worry, guys, I'm saving video games this year. Like, okay, Jeff. Fair enough, that's fine.
You need a big ego to be friends with Kojima. I'm just saying.
Is it really with him, or did he just say hello to him once? And he's like, "Oh, Kojima-san, I love you." Like, really?
He humped his leg and he's never let go.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, okay. We've got a real extra man with this guy.
We've got a hashtag Jeff is a letdown in the chat, so people obviously agree with you.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Keighley, and I didn't like this summer showcase that they did. It was stale. I'm not someone who enjoys fantasy, sci-fi, horror games, so the first 45 minutes of the showcase just didn't interest me at all. I think that some of the games looked good, but they're just not games I'm ever going to play. I know that he said beforehand to temper your expectations, but I didn't think that he would have The Rock shilling a fucking energy drink, shirtless in his gym. Like,
wait. Wasn't The Rock at the Xbox showcase?
No.
no, he was at Summer Game Fest.
He was at the Summer Games
Oh,
Fest, The Rock.
no.
That's it. He's
Summer
stolen
Game
The Rock
Fest
as well
with
from
no shirt on.
Xbox. He's like, they've took Kojima off my show. I'm going to take The Rock off of Xbox. God damn it.
Yeah.
Wow, for some reason I just associated The Rock with the. Okay, go ahead, Harry. Go ahead.
But I just thought the Summer Game Fest was boring. Like,
Grind that
pacing
X.
was off. The pacing was boring. The games that were shown didn't interest me that much. And just overall, I just think that, like, I can't remember what the horror game is. It was the Dead Space clone.
Callisto Protocol, that's made by
Callisto
the original
Protocol.
creators of Dead Space, though. So
yeah, but then there was an article on Twitter, wasn't there? And it was like, it's just Dead Space clone. It's like, no, it's not. The Callisto Protocol, yeah, that was the one. And like they got the dev out, and the dev's like, just so you know, Jeff, I like you. You're a cool guy. I thank you so much for being Jeff. You are so Jeff.
Oh, that's the guy that looked like he was down at your local pub, like he'd just wandered in.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in a
Yeah,
game.
he just
Come on,
looked like-
lads, let's go.
It's like Dave from the pub. And
Yeah.
he was like, Jeff, I just wanted to say, before we talk about how excellent my game is, you're a swell dude. It's like, come on, Jeff. You wrote
That game
the
looked
script for
amazing,
this.
though.
Come,
It did look
Harry.
good, but it doesn't interest me.
Did a game show today for Xbox because
No.
it was so much of that with the host. It's just so cringy and fake. And the guy was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm looking for people to play Redfall with. And the developer guy was there like, oh, Pete Hines, sorry. He was like, oh, I'll play with you. And he's like, oh, we're in front of all these people now. You've said it. We definitely have to play together.
Oh,
We're
yeah. Have
You
got
know,
Xbox
though,
Live,
don't know, though,
bro?
you know if you've been asked to be there on Xbox, you would be sucking that ass. You would be all over that. You know you would.
Like,
I
I'll
would.
say I wouldn't. I'd be complaining to the
Handball,
writers.
Phil? Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Pete!
Oh wow.
You know you would. I do bad Top Gun jokes. I would do bad Top Gun jokes if it got me a hosting job on an Xbox show.
Would you wear that jacket Paris was
Yeah,
wearing?
I would wear that jacket. I would do the really cheesy thing. I'd
Put the
do it all.
aviator on.
That's it, yeah. I would do it all. I have no shame. But hey, they want to send me a controller, I'll do whatever. I ate 2 bloody donuts on camera the other day. Twice. That's something I did. If you want to check out, I did a review, guys, shameless plug, of the 2 Xbox Forza donuts from Krispy Kreme the other day. And they're quite sickening. They're very rich, like one of them's full of brownie batter. So I decided to eat half of each and do the review and not go crazy. Did that. Went to listen it back. I'd forgot to press the audio on for some reason. It didn't record audio. So then I had to record the same thing again after eating these 2 donuts, straight after eating the other 2 halves. And it knocked me for quite a bit. So the things I do, I made sure I slapped it a bit in my chops for those ASMR lovers. But you can check out my review of that on the channel. Go for the orange Forza one. That is nice. It's got jam in it. Don't go for the horrible Xbox one that's full of brownie batter. That literally is sickening. But you do get a month of Game Pass with it, so it's worth buying if you've not gotten Game
There you
Pass.
Harry,
But yeah,
Harry,
I-
I have a question
do
for you.
like
You were dumping all over the Summer Games Fest. I've got
Summer
3
Ball
games
Fest,
here
yeah.
in front of me that there's no way you didn't like at least one of them. So
Okay.
there's Midnight Fight Express.
Excellent.
I would
There's
say that looks incredible.
Okay, hang on. There's Zenless Zone Zero.
That's the
Did you see
anime
that
one,
one?
isn't it?
Yeah, with the awesome combat. Did you see that one, Harry?
Yeah, didn't do it for me. personally.
Okay. The Last of Us 1 remake. Nothing.
Don't like The Last of Us. I played it before. I just didn't get on with it.
What?
I must admit that
Yeah.
Last of Us, the end, we were doing this. We watched along live to the Summer Games Fest, and we assumed there was going to be one more thing after The Last of Us, because the way they did that Last of Us thing, where they had the bloke waddle out and show off a production drawing. Yeah, he just sort of waddled on and was like, "Hello, I'm from Last of Us. I've brought
Yeah, the
a,
one that was massive. They're charging him 70 quid for 3rd time in 10
Yeah.
years. The ball.
He's
He
got
has to
massive
waddle.
bollocks. He's like Randy with the off South Park with the what is it, the
TheGinna,
wheelbarrow with his
TheGinna.
balls in.
TheGinna, there's something even worse. The $100 version sold out in an hour.
It's madness. I mean, it does look nice, but from what I can gather and how they were wording it, they've used the same voice acting, they've used the same animations. So the majority of it is going to be exactly the same, just with like new graphics. I thought they were building it from the ground up like Resi 2, but it doesn't. It's not even that. And the fact it was remastered on the last console, it was on PS4. It had a remaster. I wish I could get away with charging it.
Yeah, once again, I'm not a huge
Naughty Dog fan.
Not a huge Naughty Dog fan. Okay.
No,
I don't know.
Really
like,
got on with Uncharted.
I've got into Uncharted recently. It's very repetitive, but Uncharted I do quite enjoy. And old Naughty Dog is amazing. Like, we wouldn't have Crash Bandicoot without Naughty Dog. Like, the best Crash Bandicoots were done by Naughty Dog, no matter what anyone says.
Yes.
But that Last of Us, it killed the entire. I didn't mind the rest of the show, like the Summer Games Fest show. The first half I thought was
great that they showed.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even mind like the pacing up until the Last of Us sort of stuff killed it. I do think they could have maybe spread out of the horror space shooters instead of having them like all in one half of the show. Like go space shooter, indie game, other game, space shooter, indie game, other game, instead of putting them all back to back and so they all look like one big game.
Yeah, because I don't get on.
Actually, they did space them out.
So,
It didn't feel like it. It
Yeah,
felt like there was a lot of them close together. There was a couple that were back to back at least once. There was at least two of them back to back, and I was like,
yeah, because that was
Alien
Project
and Callisto Protocol.
that was it. Yeah, now I would have hated to have been Alien because that looked gash compared to Callisto, which looked actually really good.
Yeah.
Troy Baker came out with his stupid trousers, didn't they? And
Oh, what are they called? I put that in the. If anyone here is in our Discord, what do I call them?
Mince trotters.
Mince trotters. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Mince
Came out with his
trotters.
stupid trousers. He's done selling his voice as an NFT. He came out with stupid trousers on.
Mince trotters means you wear loafers without socks. For anyone who's unsure on the lingo from us.
I felt like the Summer Games Fest. They showed a lot of. Oh god, Mince trotter. They showed a lot of good games, but I felt like they showed way too much of the horror stuff right from the get-go. And as someone who's not interested in that, it killed all momentum for me. Then they showed some really cool indie games, and then, like you say, they just finished on like, oh, here's £100 for a game you've played 4 times already. Bye. Here's a drawing. See ya.
Yeah, if Xbox had shown a still image and then a concept art, people would be riding them all over Twitter. Like, they show a CGI trailer and people give them shit. Sony didn't even bother with a CGI trailer for something that they're now going to charge as a standalone experience that was originally supposed to be free as part of Last of Us 2, which obviously is never happening. So...
Counteract that, I'm one of the few people that really enjoyed the Xbox Bethesda showcase. I thought it was really good.
Oh, I really enjoyed the Bethesda Xbox showcase. I didn't go in thinking we were going to get megaton announcements. And when they said it was all for the next 12 months and it was going to focus majority on Game Pass stuff, I was like, yes, I am in. Because
As soon as they said that, I knew it was going to be a lot of third-party stuff. They had to show Redfall. They had to show Forza. They had to show Starfield. And I'll be honest, I wasn't too hyped about Starfield, but that showcase finale, it looks really, really good. And Jez Corden made a bloody good point today on Twitter. The modding community are going to get hold of this game and make something ridiculous on PC. I'm very excited to see what the modding community do with Starfield. But there were so many idea Xbox games. Hollow Knight, the Silk sequel. Yep. That is the most watched trailer, by the way.
By far. It's like 3 times higher than any other game on that showcase, trailer-wise. And it shows you that indie games matter to the general player, not the Twitter elite. That's not the reason we've got this as a thumbnail at all. It was originally Diablo. If Reddit has added to it, he made and I give you credit, he made a beautiful Diablo 4 thumbnail for this show, and I said no. Make it Hollow Knight because that's getting the views online. And he was like, "Why?" Ginna's. We've lost him. He's gone. Oh,
what happened to Ginna?
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Guess who's back?
But yeah, like I say,
I really enjoyed the showcase.
I did.
Good.
So I'm curious, are we just discussing the showcase ad hoc, or are we going in sequential manner?
It's all gone a bit ad hoc at the moment. We'll get to the Xbox showcase now. We'll go through it because that's what pretty much everyone wants. We just sort of went on a tangent about Summer Games Fest, and it's we do like to ramble.
That Goat Simulator trailer was fantastic. It had me believing Dead Island 2 was coming.
Yeah, even on stream, I was like, "Oh, Dead Island 2 at last." It's been downgraded a bit, like you said that, didn't you? They've downgraded it a little, but we'll take it. And then no, it's Goat Simulator 3, which is technically Goat Simulator 2, but they're just trolling us because there hasn't been a 2, has there? Or was 2 on mobile or something? I don't know.
But it looks beautiful compared to the first one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right, Harry sent me a list of what was on the Xbox. Let me just get it up in front of me.
Games.
There was loads of games. Yeah, so we'll go through them bit by bit. We'll do it the good old fashioned way, and we'll go through it from start to finish as our sort of main topic. And then if we've got time at the end, we'll touch on some of the other shows and stuff. So they kicked it off with Redfall, and honestly, I've not had any interest in Redfall at all since they announced it. It's not my cup of tea from the CGI and what they'd said about it. That trailer made me want to play that game so bad. If they'd have said this is Left 4 Dead but with crazy sort of vampires, I'd have been like, right, take my money right now. And it totally changed my opinion on Redfall, that trailer. I thought it looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good as well.
Yeah, I disagree
really
completely.
Exceeded my expectations.
So, I saw Redfall last year, and I bet my co-host on They Said We Said, Ham Solo, $100. I told him it was going to be absolute gaff. At best, Redfall is going to be a decent game that will be forgotten in 12 months. The same way as that Ubisoft game with the bikes. What's it called? The one everyone was super hyped for.
Riders Republic?
Yes.
Riders Republic.
Yes. Everyone was talking about a generational title. This is amazing. I was like, guys, 6 months, this will be nothing. I'm telling you guys, Redfall, I'm giving it 12 months because of Game Pass. Game Pass gives games a lot of staying power. But still, in 12 months after launch, Redfall will just be a blip. It'll be nothing.
Someone in chat disagrees. Cozy Beluga, shout out to you. He's put you are wrong.
Yeah, I another one of our co-hosts on They Said We Said.
Back 4 Blood looks a similar type of game. It was a lot of hype, especially after the beta they released. I played it with my friends.
Shit.
Yeah, but me and my friends played it. Like, oh, this is fun. We'll play that along. And the game come out, and it was the same game. There was no improvements. It wasn't nowhere near as good as Left 4 Dead. And it was it was hype about it. Everyone's like, this game is fun. And then a week or two later, you just don't see people playing it anymore. It was dead. So,
actually, three weeks later, there was more people playing the original than Back 4 Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That was sad. That was very sad.
They could nail it, but I'm more excited about it seeing it the second time. The first time I was a bit like, it's going to be another one of those Back 4 Blood type games than Left 4 Dead. Seeing it this time with the powers and how you can use them in conjunction, like, oh, at least they're trying something different. But yeah, I thought it looked good. The gameplay looked.
For some reason, I didn't think it was going to be Left 4 Dead style though. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be something totally different, but I thought that looked. It was right up my alley, and I'd play it. I don't think I'll prolong play it for a long period, but it's on Game Pass. I would download it, smash through it for a bit with friends, and then go back to it as and when they release content for it, like expansions and stuff. But I definitely think it's got more of a chance than Back 4 Blood, because I know Back 4 Blood was on Game Pass, but the DLC isn't that cheap for Back 4 Blood, and you lose interest. And Back 4 Blood had that weird card system and everything. It was like you've just literally took the simplicity of Left 4 Dead, what made it good, and then overcomplicated it for no bloody reason, which sort of spoilt it. So, and I did like the classes. I like that bloke that could go like invisible. I like the woman with like the kinetic shields and stuff like that. And I just thought it all looked pretty fun. Like I said, I don't know if I'd play it for a long amount of time, but I definitely play it from start to finish and work my way through. But I don't play a lot of games for a long period of time anymore, because there's that many games I don't have time to.
One very interesting thing that did get announced today is that you can have a full team of exactly the same character. So you're not going to have
that's cool, then.
in Back for Blood rushing for the one character that you know that you can play as. You can have 4 people all in the same lobby playing as the same character, which I think is really, really good.
4 snipers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can have 4 of whatever you want playing through. So I think that's good. I'm going to be playing it. I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer, but it looks fun. Like, that's my main thing. It looks fun. Looks different, and it looks fun.
Yeah. Then they announced Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, I've never played the original Hollow Knight. I know it's got a huge following online, though, like massive following. So I clearly this one game shows you that indie games matter to the general public and the general gamer. Like, seeing Hollow Knight day one on Game Pass, I think appeals to all those Switch gamers that may have probably bought it on Switch, but now they're going to be like, well, look at all these other cool indie games coming to Game Pass. Why don't I get a Series S as well, so I can play all these cool indie games on like a one fee? And I see why they're doing it, and I don't get why people shit on indie games. Like, the amount of people going, there was no AAA. I'm looking at you, Red, as if you're in chat. They look gash, they look rubbish, they're not super detailed. It's like they're not meant to be. Indie games are.
Pentiment doesn't look realistic.
Oh, the amount of people moaning about Pentiment, it's like, you haven't played it, you don't know.
Wicked. Pentiment looks brilliant.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it obviously in a minute. But
yeah,
it's good.
But these sort of games are just awesome stuff. Like, they literally, indie games are what drives the gaming industry forward with innovation, because they do all these weird little things in them, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but they're normally small little things in order to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's they're little experiences. They don't take 500 hours. You're not microtransactioned out your arse and stuff like that. It's like a form of art, isn't it? So I was well in for it, like I say, and I really want to play Hollow Knight 1 basically before this new one comes out.
Very good. Really good.
Cozy Belugas put there's no Animal Crossing on Series S. That is true, but there is Lost in Paradise or something like that, or Paradise Lost, which is basically as close to being a rip-off of Animal Crossing as you can get. You're on an island, you build houses with little animals, you basically do everything you do in Animal Crossing, but on a smaller scale, because it was like an indie game.
Legally put a disclaimer out and be like, this isn't Animal Crossing. Lawyers that are listening, this is not Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I got my missus it a while back, because obviously she liked Animal Crossing. I was like, oh, this is on Xbox. Play this because it's getting achievements. So you play this version. And she absolutely... you won't get the replayability like you do in Animal Crossing. Like, people put in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into Animal Crossing, and they can build all their own islands and stuff. This one was like, it had the core mechanics of Animal Crossing as well. So if you're into Animal Crossing, check it out. Anyone who happens to be listening.
Is it similar to Stardew Valley?
No, that's no. I'll have a look. I can't remember what it was called. It was Animal Crossing on Xbox. Anyone wondering what the footage is currently on the screen? It's that new. It's one of the newer Game Pass games, and you're basically you're taking photos of things in a time limit. I can't remember the name of it. It's got a funny name, but so the game was called Castaway Paradise, and it is on Switch now, but at the time it was on Xbox as well. So yeah, fun little game. Off topic again.
What's the next game they showed? I'll get you back.
High on Life, which was from the creators of Rick and Morty, which had that like crazy talking gun that were like chatting back to you and stuff like that. I thought that looked really cool, and that is yeah, all the guns sort of have funny dialogue and they chat to you and stuff. And that's coming October 2022, and it's day one on Game Pass as well, which is another nice addition. I thought that looked really good actually. Different. I don't know if I'd play it over and over, but I'd definitely give it a whirl on Game Pass.
Yeah, same here.
The next announcement, I personally think, is the biggest announcement that Xbox made, the entire showcase. It's Riot Games coming to PC Game Pass and Mobile Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is huge, and I think a lot of people are downplaying how significant that is. I've seen a lot of people like, it's not on console. Doesn't matter. Valorant and League of Legends are two of the biggest played games in the world. To have everything unlocked through your Game Pass subscription.
They are on Game Pass as well, though, aren't they? They are on their Xbox, should I say? The Valorant and...
No, League isn't.
It's just PC.
And Valorant isn't. It's just PC.
Right.
So this is purely focused at the
right.
PC market.
I wasn't 100% sure. I know what a League isn't. I can assume a League version will come out onto PC, to console eventually. Whether it's not the main game, it'll probably be a spin-off. Probably, aren't they making like a mobile-themed version?
What I think they should have done is put it on console, but say there's no control. There's no support for controllers.
Yeah,
I think they should have just done that.
I don't know why they don't do that anyway with like Age of Empires and stuff. Just suck it up. People will still play it.
But it does already work.
Yeah,
it does already. I've tried it. I've tried to connect my Xbox to like a keyboard and a mouse, and it just works. There's no updates, no patches, nothing. It just works.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they limited the console. It's a strange decision.
That Riot Games announcement that they made is massive.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a lot of people that have they've said it's not on console, so it doesn't matter. But look at the focus that Xbox have right now. It's not to get away from consoles, but it's cloud-based, and a lot of it is PC-based. Every game launches day and date on PC. They want to capture that PC market. They've got their own launcher now. I think people are massively underplaying how huge this is. And I've seen people just saying like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, who plays Valorant anyway?" Literally millions of people every day spend thousands of dollars on Valorant. It is massive. It's huge.
It shows you the narrow scope that people have.
Oh yeah, I would be more interested in playing League and stuff, knowing all the characters are unlocked. It's the one thing that puts me off playing Smite, that you jump in and you can't play all the characters. I understand skins maybe, but blocking classes and character types, it's just dirty, and it doesn't make me want to play a game.
What is a market that Xbox don't have a foothold on? It's the Asian market.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most played game currently on PC in the Asian market? It's League of Legends. Well, actually, it's StarCraft 2. But League of Legends is massive in South Korea. Huge. People drop out of school to play it professionally. It's massive. Everyone plays League. Look at the tournaments that they have with League of Legends. Imagine if Game Pass could sponsor one of these tournaments, or even have an Xbox team at one of these tournaments. This partnership is massive, and I think that a lot of people are just saying, well, it's not on console, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to get the Game Pass numbers up, and it's going to get more people into that potential ecosystem Xbox.
And even if they don't get into the ecosystem, the other side of this is that Xbox is showing us their end game. Yeah, Xbox is not worried about being number one in consoles. Xbox is worried about being number one in gaming.
Yeah.
They don't want to be a console. They want to be the market leader in video games in general. Their footprint. Go ahead.
TV app. The TV app that's come out now.
Yeah, Sony and PlayStation's at the same thing beginning of this gen. It's no longer about console sales. It's about engagement and player numbers. There's some people stuck in the past going, "Oh, but we're selling more consoles." It's like even PlayStation, and Jim Ryan's telling them all the time, every earnings call, we need to move beyond top. We need to sell hundreds of millions of more copies of games and expand. Like, it's coming.
Well, look at that state of play. They clearly showed that. Yeah. The Sony state of play was like, these are all coming to PC pretty much, so get used to it. Like,
and then more chop their PlayStations in half as their actual children.
Christ.
To be fair, right, it's silly. Like, I'm grateful that some of these games are coming to PC, but I've got a PS5, or I'd get a PS5 because I prefer to play on console over PC. I just don't like playing on PC. I don't find it comfortable. I don't mind some games like RTSs, MMOs and stuff. I think work better on a PC. But I like the convenience, of just sitting down, going boop, I'm good to go. So I'm glad that more people can play it, because it means these franchises will last longer. How many franchises back in the day have we lost over the years, and studios been shut down by like EA and stuff because they were only limited to either exclusives or console only or not PC. There's so many great games that died a death because they never got the chance that you can get now. Stuff like Game Pass and this new PlayStation Plus. meaning that these franchises have like a second wind. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy doing really good on Game Pass. It's actually a good game, but if they'd not put it on Game Pass, it would have bombed because everyone went, "Ooh, it's just the Avengers again," and it's not at all. It's nothing like it. But it's just.
I actually discovered the Yakuza series or franchise last year because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I bought all the game as soon as they started exiting Game Pass. I had to buy them.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Finish them.
So
it makes no sense why people would want to keep everything on one console.
No, and it doesn't stop you buying them either.
For Halo, I'm looking forward for the day that Halo is on Nintendo. There, I said it.
I'm looking forward to the day. Oh, you've upset him that much.
Harry's not taking Halo on Nintendo.
Hasn't been much. Harry, I'm sorry. Harry, I did not mean it. I'm sorry. Don't leave.
No idea what just happened then.
You got upset that he said he wanted to see Halo on a Nintendo. I long for the day that we get every game on every machine. I would go out and buy loads of Nintendo games if I could play them on my Xbox and get achievements instead of having to play them on a subpar Switch. And that's just my preference. There's probably people that would love to play Xbox games and PlayStation games on a Switch handheld out and about. It's this whole weird tribalism of keeping it from everyone. This is why people emulate. This is why people play on PC, because you can literally put everything into one box and play it. And I totally understand it. I get the thinking behind it. The future should be like everyone makes a box similar to TVs and phones and stuff like that. Everyone makes the devices, but all the software works on them, give or take, pretty much all of it. But people will pick it depending on their preference. Like, oh, I prefer this pad, I will buy that, etc., etc. That's what it should be. But it'll never change, I don't think. But people who
TVs are now starting to go that way, where the Game Pass app will only be on Samsung. Apple app only works on certain TVs.
For now, give it time. I think that
it's now going to be sorted out. TV because it's got the best image quality. It's got the best app support. So that's why I'm buying this TV. Even though my picture's going to look weird, it has the apps I want.
Yeah.
I'm buying the TV now.
Exactly.
It only runs at 480p, but who cares? It's got Game Pass.
So what was next?
You're gonna finish that Dr. Pepper. Oh my, he finished it.
Yeah.
His heart's racing, 10 to dozen.
It was only a little one.
A little one.
I was watching you the whole time since you started drinking. I was like, there's no way he's going to finish it. No way he finishes it.
It wasn't full. It was about here.
Yeah, don't lie.
Apparently.
Yeah. That's why you kept going off cam. You're like that.
Exactly.
I go into the fridge and refilling it. I got cold one in the door.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. They're all half full, so you think we don't notice. God, he's getting a lot out of that half a bottle. He's just like, then he puts it down. There's what you don't see under his thing. He's got that Xbox mini fridge, and he just pulls another one out. He's like, boom.
Pulls that. Let's go.
But yeah, I agree. The Riot thing was the probably one of the big ones. I've just shut that blooming thing now. Let me open it back up again. It's top quality.
To answer your question, a Plague Tale Requiem was the
yes.
game out.
Coming day one, coming 2022. There was a lot of 2022 stuff. You can't say Xbox doesn't have games coming in 2022. They just doesn't have Xbox Studios games. I don't care as long as I can play something.
Thank you. Thank you. People act like these games get rotten over time. I'm playing Yakuza 4 right now. It does not go bad. Okay,
no.
If someone picks up MGS 4 right now, it's perfectly fine to play it.
Yeah.
I think what happens is people get stuck in their little Twitter bubble where they think that everyone cares about first-party games. The best-selling games each year are FIFA, NFL, NBA, Call of Duty. Fortnite is always the most played. Roblox is always the most played. Like, the 99% of the people that buy these consoles buy the one that their friends buy.
Yeah.
That's what they care about. And Xbox realizes that. So rather than just focusing on purely first party, they're like, hey, let's get loads of people to play our console. How can we do that? Let's get the games that they want to play on Game Pass for 6 months or a year, and then maybe they will buy, like, casual gamers make up the majority of games, the population of gamers, right? So we all get stuck in this Twitter bubble where you've got one fanboy saying something and another fanboy saying something else, and you've got panels of shows where people talk about, like, we have to talk about only Xbox and let's just focus on that, and look at this game that's coming out in 3 years' time. That's going to be a console seller. I think Starfield looks absolutely incredible. It's not a console seller. What will be a console seller is Call of Duty coming to Game Pass. Like, that will be a console.
They've just announced FIFA 22's on Game Pass or coming this month as well. Like, they just announced it today, so that's probably going to get more fanfare, isn't it?
Yeah, it will. Redfall won't be a console seller.
No.
Forza Motorsport won't be a console
seller.
That
Minecraft game probably will.
Minecraft probably will, because people bloody love Minecraft.
That new one looks great.
I think everyone gets stuck in this bubble of thinking like all anyone cares about is first-party releases, and you have to have all of them all the time. But the majority of gamers don't care. Look at Returnal. Returnal won so many game awards, right? It was touted as like the best game on PlayStation.
No one gave two craps.
No one bought it. 500,000 people bought Returnal, and from what I've seen, it's a fantastic game. But guess what? It didn't sell consoles. What does sell consoles? Bundling your PS5 with FIFA or Call of Duty. That's what sells it. Bundling your Xbox with Call of Duty or Roblox, Robux, or Fortnite Dollaroos or whatever they're called. That's what sells. So
V-Bucks?
Yeah, V-Bucks, they're the ones. So what Xbox have done a really good job of this showcase is they've showed lots of games that lots of people want to play in Game Pass that will probably make people buy a Series S. It might even make people buy a Series X. Majority of people just don't care about first-party games. They just want to play the latest AAA third-party release. That's what they care about. Like,
it's like in the movies, the
Plague Tale Requiem.
No, Plague Tale is not going to sell consoles. Sorry. Go ahead, Ginna.
A good way of explaining it is people who like movies and they're like, oh, The Lighthouse is excellent. You know, Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson were incredible. That's what movies should be. And it's like, excellent.
The Avengers made more money than a small country.
Everyone's going to watch Avengers, though. That's what's keeping the cinemas going and the companies so they can make movies like that. Those little ass house ones that you like. You need the Avengers. So if you like games, you have to tolerate FIFAs and Maddens and stuff because that gives a lot of these companies the money to make.
Yeah, but the Lighthouse was shit. So
that's FIFA funding.
I couldn't finish it.
It's terrible.
It takes two and what have you. They use all that FIFA money to go. Yeah, you have a go with this type thing.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be making those games if FIFA wasn't bringing that bank in. They wouldn't risk it.
Sorry, EAFC we have to call it now.
Oh yeah, EA Football, UF, whatever it's called.
It's still FIFA till this one dies. It's got
FIFA 23 is still going to be made. FIFA 23 is going to be the last one.
That will be the last one,
yeah. They'll sell a £150 version with a special World Cup shiny disc on the front and stuff.
And people will buy it though. Ultimate Team. It's like every single footballer ever made. Like everyone is going in.
Madden died. He hated what the modern games become. As soon as he died, they've stuck him on the cover and sold different priced versions to get of him. Like, they don't care. As soon as he's in the grave, he loves this game. Buy the limited editions. Like, he hated it. That's why he won on the cover for so long.
Stan Lee NFTs that they tried to do from his head Twitter account. Oh my god.
Well, my idea for the FIFA 23 Ultimate Edition, they should call it FIFA 23 the Final Edition.
Yeah, guys, we will, and it will be $200.
It will sell like heroin. I'm sorry, can I say that? Can I say that?
Who knows? We'll find out if YouTube slaps us later. We've said worse on this show.
Yeah, it'll sell like heroin, guys.
Yeah, FIFA 23, buy all the cards you can. We're shutting the servers down in a year when the license runs out. That's what they need to call it. You're going to spend all this money and in a year it's gone. You won't even be able to access the game anymore. All the Ultimate Team, everything's gone in a year.
That's it.
What I think's funny is I've just gone on about how no one cares about first-party titles, but the next game that was announced was Forza Motorsport, and that looked absolutely incredible. I can't wait to play
it. Before we jump onto that, though,
Forza sell console though?
Yes.
No.
No, I don't think it would. I don't think it's
races
the
don't
best racing game in the world, in my opinion. But I think video games have moved, or not moved, but right now racing games aren't like the big thing in video games in general. They used to be, yeah. They used to be. Like remember Gran Turismo 3?
Yeah.
That's when it was good,
insane.
though. That was amazing, Gran Turismo 3. I loved Gran Turismo back then.
Oh my god. Gran Turismo 3 was...
on the OG Xbox. I know people who bought that just to play that game because they were so into Gran Turismo. Now, they ain't going out to buy a console to play a racing game. They don't care.
Yeah.
They'll just play whatever racing game is on their console that they're playing on.
Yeah.
The proof of that is
Look how
that
popular
Forza
Dirt
Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5 has 20 million players, but do we think that sold?
It probably sold about 5
consoles?
million copies of the game.
But it didn't sell well. It didn't sell well. The real profit with Horizon was the microtransactions.
Oh yeah, I bet they've sold a fortune of VI, like the ultimate like expansion pack thing. Do you know where you get all the DLC and like the VIP? I bought that, and I haven't bought the game, but I'll pick the game up when it drops out of Game Pass because I did that with one of the previous ones. Like
it's never dropping out of Game Pass.
It might do because of licensing, though.
They will do because of the car licenses. Motorsport 7 dropped out a few months
so
ago.
yeah, one of the older motorsports just dropped out, and then when it falls out, you pick it up dirt cheap, which is. But I paid day one. Like I pre-ordered the DLC and the expansion and everything, and like the VIP and everything, all the content. I just haven't bought the actual game because I'm paying for Game Pass. So my opinion, the way I do it is I don't buy Microsoft first party games because they're in Game Pass, but then I use that money to buy indie games or other games that aren't in Game Pass and I want to try. So I've ended up getting twice as much game content in my life. So and I don't mind at all.
Harry actually brought up a good point that after they delist it, you can't buy it. You have to buy it before they delist it.
Yeah. So they give you a warning with Forza. At least they give you a warning. They're not like EA and stuff who just snipe, take them down, and so then they're gone forever.
There currently isn't a Forza Motorsport game available on Xbox.
No, to buy.
You cannot buy a Forza Motorsport game
digitally
on Xbox.
Yeah. So for me, the biggest worry for Forza Motorsport is the fact that they dropped the numbers, and they clearly showed that this is going to be like a microtransaction-heavy game that they're going to support for years to come.
Yeah.
So for me, I absolutely hate that idea. They could knock it out the park, but on average, these types of endeavors end up with egg on everyone's face. So
I don't know. I think car games can work with ongoing support, adding new cars in and new tracks and stuff. As long as the transaction cost isn't a lot. Like if they bring out odd little packs here and there, I'm all up for that. Like that Hot Wheels game, there's the Hot Wheels racing game, has had 3 racing season passes and 3 DLC packs so far. Now, I do think they're a bit too overpriced. The season passes are. They're like £5. You can unlock a variety of cars and stuff over like 2 or 3 months. That's fine. The season pass is like £25 and you get an expansion pack, a handful of cars and some extra bits. I think they're overpriced. I've bought them all in a sale. Like I buy them at like half price. But that's how I don't mind games. I would rather have one racing game that just keeps getting more and more content instead of having to keep buying a new game and moving on to the next. I'm all up for live service games as long as they work well and aren't online only. Like, if it's a racing game and they decide to stop supporting it, I should still be able to play it offline. Like Gran Turismo is online only. If they decide, well, we're not making any money off GT7, you can't connect to the game, you can't play. It's just literally a disc, a coaster. You may as well stick your drink on it. So it all depends on how they set it up and do it, and how much the microtransactions are. If they're only small little chunks every couple of months or something to add more content, I'm not that fussed because I know how much development costs. I understand supporting the devs. It's when they take the absolute piss and like when there's 20 microtransactions in it at launch, and you're like, that's a bit naughty, isn't it? That's not how it should be. So.
They shadow drop a multiplayer beta that has a working coin store. Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but it's just a beta. It's not fully out, but you can buy stuff.
Yeah, you can buy blue, $20.
Yeah.
I've just looked at this list again, and I am overwhelmed with how many bloody games there are.
I'm
Can
gonna.
we go to Pentiment?
I'm going to quickly run through a couple of them for anyone who happened to have not seen it. So, Microsoft Flight Sim, they're doing a 40th anniversary edition, celebrating the series. It released the day of the show, and it's adding new planes, helicopters, which is cool, and the Halo. Is it Pelican? If I'm correct, that it can literally fly into sort of low orbit, which is amazing. It's great. So it's got better Halo content than Halo Infinite has recently. So,
a minute. Hang on. Come on. That's a low blow. No need to say that.
It's true though. It's a low blow, but it's a true blow.
No.
Yeah. Do you know what's worse? Fall Guys got better Halo content coming than Halo Infinite has, and it's not even out on Xbox yet. They've literally shown off, and it's got an amazing trailer.
The trailer reenacted the Believe trailer from Halo.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It costs less money to buy the master.
Let's keep it moving. Otherwise, we're gonna get stuck here.
Than it does in Halo Infinite.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I can't talk about Halo Infinite anymore.
We got a couple of other games updates. So, Overwatch 2 is going to be a free-to-play game coming in October, early access. Looks similar to Overwatch 1 from what I've seen, but because it's free to play, I would probably give it a go. It does get rid of that, what do you call it? The problem I have with Overwatch is it's been out that long. I don't want to pay £20 to get into it now. What's the point? Free to play, I would jump in as and when. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, Sensei says he loves Ash's spicy Halo take. Honestly, mate, it's true. It's true. You know what? I loved Infinite. I think Infinite's multiplayer is amazing. It feels fantastic. It looks fantastic. But there's no the content's gash. Game modes in content to me. I want to see either new multiplayer sort of experiences. I want co-op. I want Forge, or I want some DLC for the campaign. I don't want £15 colour palettes that were free in the last 200 games that have ever existed.
I want to very quickly say, I said all of this. I'm not going to say. I said all of this on launch back in December when this garbage dumpster fire came out. Everything that everyone is now saying about Halo Infinite, I said the day it launched that it would be dead on arrival, that it was full of shoddy microtransactions, and there was no content. And everybody called me out saying that I was talking bollocks. I was right. I just want to say it. I was right. Everyone else was wrong.
Take that dub. But you're half wrong because that campaign was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I thought the campaign was good from what I played, but I'm waiting for the co-op. And there was people at launch. It was bustling for a week or two, and then it slowly dropped. There's still an active play base. You're never going to be waiting a long time for a game. But the fact that they broke big team battles so no one could play it didn't help.
My frustration is it plays really well. It's it's the best playing Halo game that there is, but there's not much to play. Yeah,
they should if they'd just launched it as a Halo game and not said it was this 10-year life cycle and we're going to support it, we probably wouldn't complain, but they did. Yeah. They said that and they didn't, so we're all laughing at them a little bit. Right, come on, because
call it Halo 6.
Yeah, exactly. Don't call it Infinite. Like it's going to be good, and it's going to have like tons of stuff because it hasn't got. I mean, when it comes, it may be amazing, and we'll all be like, "Hands up, that's fantastic." We'll all jump back in, but they keep saying stuff, and it keeps getting pushed back.
When you weren't there in the bad days, you don't deserve the good days. Sling your hook, you dirty scrub.
Sorry, we'll all be playing something different by then. There's so much coming out. I'm going to run through a few of these quickly because we're going to run out of time otherwise. ARA History Untold got announced day one on Game Pass. Looked cool. Elder Scrolls Online is getting a new update. Fallout 76 getting a pit update as well, which is cool. It was a bit weird. They did like 3 back-to-back DLC announcements, which was weird, because then they did the Forza Horizon 5 expansion, which is the Hot Wheels one, which unfortunately did get leaked 2 days before because they put it up on Steam. Coming next month, 19th of July. Looks amazing. that
really good.
that trailer with that Somewhere Over the Rainbow cover was awesome. That cover was ace.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they've done it as the first one, because normally Forza goes realistic and then crazy, so we're getting two crazy ones. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. And the fact that there's just been that Hot Wheels game, you think they wouldn't want another game being Hot Wheels? You think they'd want everyone playing the actual Hot Wheels game as well?
Hot Wheels don't care. They're getting their licensing
But
money.
that's true, yeah, because I suppose they haven't made the Hot Wheels game. They'll sell it to anyone. Plus, the Hot Wheels games is getting a Looney Tunes expansion. I mean, can you beat Looney Tunes? And they've just added Mystery Machine to it. So that's like riding high now in peaks of racing games.
Yeah.
Telling you now, EA is on the phone to Hot Wheels trying to replace the running tracks in games with Hot Wheels tracks around the outside of the stadiums.
Hot Wheels Football 2023.
Hot Wheels like, yeah, put it in. I'm good. Do what you need to do.
We got Arc 2, so we got to see a CGI trailer of Vin Diesel telling us that family's stronger than dinosaurs.
Did you hear what he said? If you're not excited for Arc 2, you're not a real gamer.
You're not a real gamer. Christ.
Is that what he said?
Christ above.
Have you played Arc 1? Because that is a shit game. I don't like Arc. It's shit. It's just a bog standard survival game. The only good thing about it is you can use console commands to blitz all achievements. Otherwise, it's not worth playing. It's just it's fun. It's just naff. It handles like arse. It was in early access and had like 5 expansions before it officially released that you had to pay extra for. I mean, that is a scammy practice if I've ever seen one.
Fantastic game with friends though. Good fun.
No.
No,
it's not. It's terrible.
It remembers what game is supposed to be fun. So you play with friends.
But it's not fun. It's boring. It's boring. I'd rather play Minecraft. It's boring.
Hey, you've not ganged up with a pack of dinosaurs riding around stomping dodos, okay?
I'd rather play checkers.
I think Sensei's out. Thanks for joining. He's not even going to get to hear me talking highly of Final Fantasy in a bit, so he's missing out. But soz bud. But thank you for tuning in. If you are enjoying the show, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 750. That's our next goal. When we hit 750 subs, I have agreed to stream Genital Jousting as one of our stream games, and because we hit 650 a week or two ago, at some point this week I'm going to be playing Shower with Your Dad Simulator because you all requested it, so you're getting your wish. It is coming.
There's a game called Shower with Your Dad.
Yeah, Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
I'm googling this. What?
Yeah.
There's
so
a game.
That's what I agreed to stream if we hit 650, and we've done that, so thank you to everyone who subscribes. But 750, I will be playing Genital Jousting, and this is a game that sounds exactly like it is. You're basically giant sort of sentinel willies that are basically jousting each other up the bum holes, that they've got bum holes between the balls. So, and it's a is it a Devolver digital game? I believe it's Devolver, so you know it's going to be of sort of some decent quality. So hit that like button, hit subscribe. Moving on, we got talking about sort of sentient penises. We got Scorn releasing October 21st.
Best horror game 2022.
And I believe they showed off an extended look at it today as well. I don't know if it was on the showcase day or they showed it on just YouTube, but like a more in-depth gameplay with it had someone from horror movies or something doing the audio on it. It sounded and looked awesome. So that trailer was better than the showcase trailer. So watch the one they showed later.
I'm very, very excited for
It was very good.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I like the look of Scorn finally coming. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn was a surprise one for me. I thought that looked really cool. Like a hack and slash shooter with a bit of magic in there. I thought that looked really cool.
Bang average.
Bang average. That was Redders, wasn't it? I think he said everything was bang average pretty much this. Yeah. We then got Minecraft Legends, which is like a strategy game set in the Minecraft universe, which looked interesting, although I didn't like the graphical shading they'd put on it. I didn't like that. I was like,
it looked a little bit boring.
Yeah, but why? Yeah. Just leave it looking like Minecraft, in my opinion. But I'm interested to see how it plays.
Anything Minecraft.
You don't like it?
as soon as you say Minecraft, whatever, I'm
Whoa!
looping out of that.
You can go to Disneyland in the current Minecraft. There's a map in it where you can go to Disneyland and go on all the rides. If that's not good.
Minecraft Dungeons was really good.
I enjoyed
Look,
Minecraft Dungeons.
If Minecraft cured cancer, I would think twice about installing it.
I'll get on to Phil then, get him to start on that. Come on, Phil boy. I want cancer cured.
Text him.
Yeah. I don't think he'll reply, but I'll try.
We can try.
Well, so sorry, before you move on, so, who's Timber?
Thimber is a guy in our chat who is a big supporter of our channel. He pretty much turns up like every week.
Okay, so Thimber has got some interesting news. He says Todd Howard confirms his next project when Starfield is done. He's going to jump to Elder Scrolls and then Fallout. I just want to point out a pet peeve that I have about Bethesda. I hope to God and everything holy in this planet and in the rest of the universe that Starfield is the last game that uses a creation engine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Please.
because Bethesda they literally own the ID engine and stuff like that. So the id engine, like the id Tech engine, any engine, use any of Microsoft engines, use Unreal, just use a better engine.
Use Unreal 5 and give us Elder Scrolls that we deserve. That's God, please. That's all I'm asking for. That's all. That's all I wanted. Let's carry
on. What was after Minecraft? Lightyear Frontier, which was a robot sort of crafting thing. You were in like a mech suit, but you were crafting and stuff. That looks quite good.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, different. Looks like it doesn't look like there's much combat in it or anything, so it looks like it's gonna be quite chill. You're just sort of wandering around in a mech. Yeah. I like games like that. Every now and again, I just like to play a game where I don't have to do much. I just have to sit there and do random things.
If you want a game that's really, really chill, where you don't do much, there's a game called Alba, a wildlife adventure.
I've played that. I love Alba. It's such a good game.
You just run around an island taking pictures of the wildlife.
Yes. It does have a little story as well, which is about sort of preserving wildlife in this island and stuff. So, Thimber says he wants Lightyear Frontier, and that the devs replied to our tweet about it. Liked his reply to our tweet on it. Yeah, they liked our tweet about it as well because we posted up. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks like a cool little game coming to Game Pass day one. Gunfire.
Interacting with devs.
Pardon?
Ever since you told me how shit I was on stream, I think we should stop interacting with them, you know?
You should get good, Scrub. That's it. Get good.
I realised I was that bad at the game. Did he turn up and was like, oh, by the way, you're supposed to do this?
It was the best thing was, though, you hyped that stream up for like a week and they knew it about it and they were like, yeah, we're going to turn up. And then you played terrible and they called you out on it. I love it.
What game were you playing terribly?
Research and Destroy. Fantastic game. Turns out it's a very difficult game. The level I put on. The one, he was surprised how well I was killing the boogeyman. He was like, you're dealing with the boogeyman. Amazing. He's meant to be hard. I was like, yeah, normally he is. Every other enemy, the easiest things in the world, I was awful. Dying, all over the place. And yeah, he was like, yeah, by the way, if you do this, this happens. You should run. You've only got this many turns left. I was like, how have I missed the big turn counter in the top of my like, just the pressure got to me. I knew he was watching.
Yeah. You're like Steven Gerrard, 2 or 3 games before winning the Premier League.
Don't let it slip.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, it was funny though.
Never
it was
again.
funny.
Never again.
Hey, I did that World War II online stream, and they got me back to do a second one. So, and I were terrible at that. I got 1 kill in a night. Was it a 2-hour stream? I got 1 kill, but they had me back for a second one, and I got 4 kills in that one. So, patience. You just got to learn to get better. You know, just got to learn.
I'm just gonna keep streaming to Fimber and Muppet and be happy with it.
That's it. They think you're good, even if you're shit, mate. They won't say you're bad. Right, moving on, we had Gunfire Reborn, which is a 4-player animal FPS co-op game that I don't remember. Coming October and day one on Game Pass. Does anyone else remember Gunfire? Am I missing something? A co-op animal first-person shooter?
In my notes, I just wrote that it's too cartoony. Not feeling it. So
it looked like
that's all I have to say.
But furries. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Not
much.
for me, I don't think.
Then it was The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which looked really cool, which was like that 2.5D mystery game. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
It's coming spring 2023 and day one on Game. We were eating good on Game Pass at the moment. There's so much coming. I don't know how I'm going to fit it in. As Dusk Falls shows off.
This next game.
My type of game. Story focused.
Oh, that I
game.
was
love it.
reading it. I was like, "What says Dusk Falls?" That's the one that kind of reminds me of like Life is Strange and stuff, but with that cool art style. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Really.
Or the Telltale games.
Yeah, they did an extended look at that as well today on the extended showcase. So if you want to find out more about that, check that one out as well. From what I gathered, I haven't watched the extended showcase properly, but they did put a tweet out saying we're going to be talking about it with people. So I assume it's on that showcase. So shoot me if I'm wrong.
I'm unsure. Yeah. I was really hyped about a year ago, and then the more I see of it, I'm like, it's just a TV show. And they were explaining it today, and they went, it's like a TV show, but you make the choices. And I was like, oh, you're losing me there. I was kind of more, and you could do multiplayer where you all have a controller, and it gives you press A for this option or B for this option, and it goes on the majority vote.
So it's like Star Wars, the Old Republic MMO, where if you play with your friends in a party and you get into conversations for story content, someone can literally mess up the game by voting for the opposite and stuff and messing everyone's choices up. It's great. I don't want to be dark side. Well, you ain't got a choice because we're all going dark side today and everyone votes dark side. You're playing as like fully aligned to the light and someone's just like, no, kill them. And you're like, oh, shit.
Kill all the Padawans.
But yeah, I like the look of that. The only thing I didn't like, I was watching it and I love the idea of it. I'm going to play it. I was like, I don't know if I love the graphics, the art style, or I hate them. I can't tell. At times it just, I thought this looks great, and at times I was like, I don't know, but I'll still play it. The graphics aren't what made me play. That's it, I think. Yeah.
I like the art style on when the people are talking and it's like 2D and then it blurs like an oil painting to another one. But then the bit where it shows like people driving through the town and the cars and it switches to 3D, it looked like Lake. Like the graphics like a switch to that and then it goes back to this awesome looking graphics. I don't quite get it.
Lake was good. I enjoyed Lake.
Yeah, I really like Lake.
The best game about delivering mail I've played. I'll give it that.
Oh, you haven't played Mole. You haven't played Mole Man. That's a good mole. Mail delivering game. He plays a mole.
Or Postal.
Postal, yeah.
No,
I don't think you actually deliver mail in Postal, do you? You just kill people.
You deliver everything else other than that.
I don't remember much. All I remember about Postal is you could set people on fire, then pee on them, and you would open random doors, go into random buildings, having a look, and then suddenly loads of terrorists would run out of a random room at you and blow up. Then you go into another room, and everyone would just start throwing stuff at you and killing you for no reason. Like it was the weird. It's like you were on some sort of like fever dream.
You're
or
not
some
talking
sort
about
of...
Lake now, are you?
Maybe I never got to I never played through Lake, so maybe it got really weird at the end of Lake.
Lake gives you that feel-good movie vibe, like the way back with Little Miss Sunshine. It's that
but she's delivering anthrax to people.
Feeling and you make your choices.
Lake made me hate my life because I don't live in the town of Lake.
Right? Like I would take that life. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the one from the new Life is Strange. That town. I want to live in that little mining village. Obviously, without the people being murdered and stuff like that, and the big corporation.
Jinna's just been killed.
Jinna, that's it.
He's died. He's just actually died.
The makers of Lake have just come in and murdered him.
What happened, Jinna?
Knock twice if you're still alive. He's been swatted. Oh
man.
Alucard got him.
Hello.
There we go.
My camera took a tumble. My wife walked in and just like I had it on the chair over there, so you know a good angle, and she thought, I'm going to tuck this chair in, not realizing my camera's on there, and just
she's laughing.
Oh yeah, she thinks it's hilarious.
Pretty good, didn't it?
we thought Alucard had come in and took you away, mate. Quick boot to back at head or something. Oh, look, that's me. That's weird watching myself. I must admit, you do look like the holly from Red Dwarf on the bottom left because it looks like you haven't got any shoulders cut in Ginna's light on his camera. It just looks like you're a floating head.
Right?
It does, doesn't it?
Ooh. Is it gonna move?
It will in like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. There we go. We're not having a tour around Japan this week, then, Ginna. We're not doing the tours.
No, I did the extended game show, and then I thought I would cut to us for a bit.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Only the best content. You can see us twice.
I always put random stuff on. I've had a few episodes of Gamers Watch on before, get the view numbers up. You've got to do it. Keep it on in the background.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're not being paid for that sponsorship yet, are
we'll
we?
get you on the show one day, don't worry.
As long as we don't have to play Halo beforehand, because we did that with Green Pass Gaming and it was dreadful.
Don't worry, you won't catch me playing Halo.
Damn.
Oh, right, what was next? Naraka? That was that.
Really good.
Was that the Battle Royale, the
Royale.
Chinese battle? Yeah, that looked awesome. It's available on beta right now as well. You can download it on. Was that the one that I saw the Xbox Twitter posted up? They'd put Phil's face into one of the characters. You can upload a photo into the character creator, and they'd put Phil's face on one of the characters. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that looks really good.
Campaign as well.
Yeah.
So you can go free players and play against AI and fight the big bosses if you're not into the whole Battle Royale thing, which is quite cool.
I like that idea, and I like that. I'm up for the Battle Royale. The last Battle Royale I really got into, though, it died a death, was what's it called now? Realm Royale, and I've never really got into another Battle Royale since because I just feel like I'm going to get burnt. But I'm probably going to pick that one up for definite.
There's an excellent one called Spellbreaker. The problem is nobody plays it.
Yeah.
Easy to win then.
So the lobbies are 100 players, and when I first played it, you'd get straight into a game and it'd be great. But on Steam at the moment, it has 190 players throughout the day. So you're literally going to be playing with the same group of people, and you've got to be on at the right time. Otherwise, they're not going to fill a lobby. Bloody hell.
That's unfortunate.
Keep running into shit now. You're right.
Apparently, Thimba says Naraka is a huge game in China. It wouldn't surprise me. It does look big. It seems to be on Steam already. All-time peak of 186,000. That's pretty cool. So,
bit bigger than Spellbreaker.
Yeah. Then we got obviously one of some people's favourite game of the show, Pentiment.
Yeah, some people.
I know Redders hates this game with a passion. He said it was one of the worst things on the show.
Me and Redders should join a WhatsApp group.
I want to caveat why I think this game looks so good. Have any of you played the Procession to Calvary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good game.
I absolutely love the Procession to Calvary. It's one of the funniest games I've ever played. It's basically just playing a Monty Python intro for like 2 hours.
Yes.
Absolutely superb. And Pentiment looks like a more polished version of that. And that's why I'm excited for it. Because it looks like another game that I also really like. Procession to Calvary is on Game Pass. It's very
play
fun.
it. It's only a couple of hours long.
Really
it's
only
really
a couple
good.
of hours long.
If you like British humour,
Really,
like Monty Python films, it's so good. Like I say, and there's some very funny bits. Probably some slight offensive bits in there to some people. If you're into religion heavily, you may find some of it a bit offensive. But I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
So dumb.
Yeah,
it's such a dumb, fun game.
If you're playing with headphones, I'd keep the volume down a bit because there is one bit that nearly deafened me. And yeah, it was really, really painful, surprisingly, like how loud it was. So yeah, maybe turn it down slightly because you're going to be like, oh, it's quite quiet. And you're going to walk into this one field. Oh my God, your eardrums are going to explode. So.
But yeah, I really, really love Procession to Calvary, and that's got me excited for Pentiment. I understand that a lot of people don't like the look of it, but I just think it looks different.
Yeah, and Obsidian do good games. Grounded's got a lot of comedy in it as well. The Outer Worlds was really good, so I have no sort of worry about anything that Obsidian are doing. So that's a day one play for me as well. Fimber in chat says Xbox have posted out online that you can now upgrade your profile with some reimagined Xbox 360 gamer picks and some newer additions, so you can change your gamer pick if you want as well on Xbox with some new tasty updates. And apparently Todd was really happy on the showcase talking about Starfield, according to Meisuko as well. And he says, yeah, Pentiment has him intrigued and he'll play it when it releases. So cool. You've just got to try stuff.
I don't know how clearly you guys can see this, but I bought a new mouse and keyboard off Wish, that reputable retailer, for £8. Now the keyboard has turned up and it is lovely, really good to use. Individual keys, fantastic. Now the mouse, this is the first time because it came yesterday. I only used it briefly in the day. I haven't used it when it's got dark yet, but as you can see, it's meant to have little slits for the light to come out of. But the plastic is so cheap and thin on the mouse. The whole mouse is in fact lighting up and changing color. It's meant to be white with little gaps so you can see the color come through.
That's not.
I thought it was supposed to all light up. I assume that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, just in the gaps. But they've made the plastic so thin and cheap that the whole thing is like just. Look at that.
So, Wish, if you'd like to sponsor us, you know where to go. We get the best content here. Get a UV scan on there.
I know. I'm going to catch a tan off it.
I'm going to run through because we're going to literally run out of time at this rate. So, Grounded got a full launch announcement. That was the most disappointing, one of the most disappointing ones for me because there wasn't anything new really added. They're just putting it into finishing the story and putting it into full release. I thought they might tease a bit about what was coming, but they didn't.
I was quite excited for that. Me and my friends played it when it first came out and dropped off because like the updates and there wasn't enough there, and we kind of just left it. Now this is it. There's a full storyline, but we will have more. They all want to jump back in, so yeah, it's gonna be good. It's quite a good game.
Oh yeah, it's good. I just thought the trailer didn't need to be in the showcase, in my opinion. They could have done it. I'd rather the stuff they announced in the extended showcase be shown in this one, in the place of that Grounded one that could have gone in the extended showcase where not as many people were going to watch. Yeah. But I assume they wanted first-party Xbox games, and that was the best we were going to get. Do you know what I mean? So, Pentiment and Grounded. So, Ereban got announced, releasing 2023, day one on Game Pass. I can't remember this one either.
Oh, this one is like a shadow ninja thing. It gives me lots of vibes of Aragami and Aragami 2. I don't know if you guys played those games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
The robot hunting the shadow?
Yeah. So it looks very interesting from what I saw. I'm very intrigued with this one.
I think I remember it now, so yeah, I know what you're saying. Diablo 4 got announced, looked fantastic. We've already pretty much sort of gone over it a little bit. We thought that first cutscene looked fantastic, and then when they started showing off like the open world and the sort of, I love the idea like multiple people can just like run in and take on bosses. It felt like an MMO, but with Diablo. Do you know what I mean? Like a Diablo styled MMO, and I'm up for that. Like I say, as long as they don't butcher it with microtransactions, I'm all down for that.
They will. Like Kotaku reported that there was a recent job listing last week, and they're looking for a manager that's going to maximize the monetizing potential. So
don't upset us. Oh,
there was some woman yesterday who posted she'd started her new job on Bungie, helping with monetization and something, and I was like, that is a bold move. That is brave to be putting that your job. Like,
can you imagine? That's like putting on Twitter, like, my job is I'm the one who sets the overpricedness and the grind on the GT7 cars. Yeah. Like,
she's
just wouldn't do it,
man. She's owning it. Oh my god.
Warden.
Yeah.
Actually, you would. For GT7, you would. Because don't forget, on PlayStation, they support the devs.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Well, Bungie's owned by Sony now, and maybe that's why she did it.
That's it, yeah, they've got a supporter.
Exactly. The fans like paying, so it's fine.
Sea of Thieves got a new update for Season 7 that's coming soon, which allows you to do a lot of customization in your ship, so you can name them, you can save your style, so you don't have to go and redo your ship every time you switch the game on, and you're also able to sort of edit your interiors and stuff like that. You're going to be able to do your captain's quarters and stuff, which is cool, but after having that Sea of Thieves one drop last year, I was a bit like, not Sea of Thieves, the Pirates of the Caribbean one, I was expecting something, and this was a nice update, but these all should have been in a year ago, and it was a bit sort of like just to sort of fill time. The trailer was great. It had a song and a dance, and it made me chuckle, but I wanted something more. I wanted more than just customization options. Like, I wanted a new expansion of the size of Pirates, or even if I don't even care if it wasn't coming like this week. If it was coming like in a year's time, I just wanted to know, but it just felt a bit meh. It was good. I'm happy for all the updates. They're all things I want, but that wasn't that fantastic. There was Ravenlock getting announced.
What it needs.
What did you
You
say?
sail to an island. Turns out you're in Minecraft and it's all blocks. That's what it needs. A nice Minecraft crossover.
That's it, clearly. You could have done. Oh, there's that new One Piece movie coming out. Do a crossover with One Piece. They're pirates. Could do. There's loads of pirates in like pop culture. You could do. Do you know what I mean? Do more Pirates of the Caribbean.
Get Hot Wheels in on it. They don't
Hot Wheels expansion. Yeah. One thing they did say as well.
The pirate game.
You can now you'll be able to drop your loot off in more places. You don't have to keep going back to islands to drop your loot off. There's going to be like points out and about, which is useful, very useful if you you don't want to keep like pulling up at miles away from where you are. So little things like that. But like I say, these are things that could and should have been in a long time ago. If
they get a PvE servers in, I'm back.
That's what we want. Yeah, PvE announcement would have been great. I'd have been all over that, like a tramp on chips, but there isn't one. It's like when co-op finally comes to Infinite and they're gonna big it up, but everyone's like, well, it should have been there a year ago. Do you know what I mean? It's I've got to keep digging it in. We then got Ravenlock getting announced for 2023, day one on Game Pass. That looked quite good. I enjoyed the look of that one. Then Cocoon.
Cocoon looks amazing.
Do you know what? Cocoon was the worst game on the show for me.
It really wants to be Zelda.
No.
This game.
It just looked. It didn't look like a bad game. I'm not saying it looked bad, but out of all the games shown, that was the one that I was like, I'm not that bothered about playing that one. It just looked boring.
For someone
coming together, it's like a dream team of indie greatness coming to make this game. What's wrong with you? Why do you hate indies, Ash?
I don't hate indies. I just wasn't that bothered. I just thought I'll play it because it's on Game Pass, and I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but it just didn't look that exciting and looked a bit boring. I don't like Zelda. Modern Zeldas are boring as arse. Look what you've done to my boy Sonic. Zelda's done that to Sonic. Sonic looks like Gash because of Zelda.
Are you talking about Sonic Frontiers?
Yeah, the Unreal intern project, Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Mania or whatever. It's not Sonic Mania. Sonic Origins looks amazing, except the monetization and paywall. But Frontier, it just looks boring. Not every game has to be Breath of the Wild. Stop it. Sonic doesn't, especially when the Roblox expansion of Sonic themed expansion looks better than the new Sonic team game. There's something wrong with the world. And I stand by that. I'd rather play that Roblox game than the new Sonic Frontiers. No, Fimber, sorry. Sonic Frontiers can't be fun. It looks gash. It's boring. It looks slow. Sonic's fast-paced, bouncing off walls, not aimlessly wandering in a field like he's lost, looking for random, boring grey robots. It should be in brightly coloured. Do you know what? It wouldn't look that bad if it was brightly coloured and look like Green Hill Zone, but they've gone for the most generic sort of like we've just bought a template off of Unreal Engine.
Rocks on the side, go to that and just put the checker design.
Yeah,
in the orange.
It would look that would boost it up at least one level for me.
Yeah,
but no, I don't know.
Like a Sonic bad idea, but...
And the fact they've now come out and said you just don't understand it. I'm sure other companies have done that before. You don't understand this game, what we're doing, and it massively backfires because one, you offend people, and two, people go, well, if we're not going to understand it, why are we going to buy it? So
I think you find it's
you don't want to antagonize the fan base.
Thimber's like Ash hating on my boy Sonic.
Idea.
I love my boy Sonic. I love Sonic. Sonic is literally like, if I pick a retro game that I had to keep forever, it would probably be Sonic. I love Sonic, all the Sonics. I even like the first couple of 3D Sonics, but they got worse and worse, and generations went up. Mania was great. This new 2D one looks good, bar, like I say, the issues they've got with the pricing. But Frontiers looks like the worst, blandest, boringest sort of like they've just gone, oh, what's popular at the moment? Oh, that'll do. Stick a Sonic model in there and see. Like it was a different game, and they went, oh, just swap that model out with Sonic. And then that's it, and it just doesn't it doesn't feel like Sonic. It just feels wrong. So
I hope it turns out to be game of the year.
So now I know that Ash really likes Sonic.
I love Sonic. I want to play more Sonic. I want Sonic to be good again. But the new Sonic looks shit.
Wow.
And Thimber says I'm secretly that Sonic fan YouTube channel. Doesn't surprise me, Thimber. I can definitely see you as a Sonic fan YouTube channel. I bet you've got all the fan art and stuff as well, the animations. I just know it.
It's one of those rare instances where the movie based on the game is now better than the game.
Yes.
Normally, movies based on games. The second movie's
That's
fantastic.
Wild.
Avengers movie.
That's true.
Like, in terms of characters and the battles, by the end, I was like, I feel like I'm watching Endgame. This is this has gone next level. I don't know how they're going to top it for number 3.
You know what we're getting number 3? We're getting Big the Cat, or whatever he's called. It's just going to be an hour of him fishing. It's going to be amazing.
We're going to get, what's her name, Amy, and then we're going to get the furry crowd all excited. And
that's it, Sonic getting his rocks off.
Inappropriate CGI movies are going to be following Sonic 3.
Does Sonic have rocks, though?
I don't know. Technically, I don't know. He doesn't show them in the film. He doesn't wear pants, so how does he go to the toilet?
Under his fur.
Sonic have a penis.
You're going to get some things you never want to see there, mate. I tell you.
You would do it, Harry. You would search for that.
What was it? Is it rule? What is it? Rule 60 something?
Rule 34.
34. If you can think of it, you can search it, and there's probably some porn of it on the internet. Shout out to the Indie Gamer in chat. Thanks for joining in. Thimber says Ash has chosen violence here.
Ironically, Indie Gamer dislikes indie games, and he's only here for the AAAs.
That's it. Yeah, he likes it. He likes indie games, and he's missed all the AAA talk.
He was so happy when Hollow Knight 2 was announced. I think he might have exploded. And it's just
he exploded like Jeff Keighley announcing Kojima's coming on stage.
Yeah,
I bet. Right, we'll get to this in a second because then it went to the Japanese section of the show, and they were like, "We love Japan." So we got a really cool Team Ninja game called Wulon Fallen Destiny, which is by Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja. Looked awesome. Coming day one to Game Pass as well. I thought that looked really cool. Loads of dragons and sort of nice zombie things and stuff. Looked awesome. Phil came out and announced we're getting Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5R before the Switch, which is also funny. And they're coming to Xbox and Game Pass on PC as well, October 2022. And that's cool for people who like Persona because everyone's been hounding them. So now we've got Persona guys start asking for yeah, we want
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we want Final Fantasy 14. We want Final Fantasy 7 remake. We want because I actually am looking forward to Final Fantasy 7 remake. I can say that now. Sensei's not here.
You know what I think? I think Phil Spencer is secretly a console warrior. I'm serious. I think deep down, when he switches off his Wi-Fi and is out there somewhere, he is just loving all the salt that's coming from the PlayStation guys. I think
next week.
Yes.
That one.
Yes.
To be fair, if I was the head of Microsoft, I can never remember his name. Satya. I had that much money and I was at the top of Microsoft. I'd literally going to film and be like, right, what's going to fuck 'em most next? do that. What do these PlayStation fans like? He might be like that anyway because he doesn't play games. You know he doesn't. He walks around in Crocs.
He does. Come on.
He does not. He walks around in Crocs, minding his own business, looking at his fucking piles of gold like Scrooge McDuck. That's what he does. And he goes up to Phil and he's like, what do these cool PlayStation kids like? And he's like, they like this Kojima guy. They're like, get him. What else do they like? Oh, they like this Persona. Give him that money. They like this Call of Duty. Call of Duty's popular. Take it off them. I mean, obviously, then they went, well, we can't do it. And it's like, can't really do that. And he's like, well, we'll give ours away for free and everyone else has to pay. Do you know what I mean? What's next?
I think.
Dev. Oh, no, they're owned by someone. We'll buy that person.
I think the next step for Xbox to really piss them off is to have like maybe not buy, but have an exclusive deal with Konami, and then tell Kojima redo every single Metal Gear Solid game the way Resident Evil redid the Resident Evil games, and then make the complete, because you know Kojima didn't finish MGS5.
Yeah.
Make the complete MGS5 an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, they love that Metal Gear. Right, we'll buy that IP. What else are you going? Silent Hills. We'll buy that IP.
Buy that one. Done. Everyone's gonna lose their minds. Remember how many people were angry because of Spyro and Crash? That was crazy.
Wait till they do a new Spyro and Crash and it's exclusive to Xbox.
Oh yes. My god.
Reddit is convinced that Xbox is going to get the new GTA exclusive for a period of time or on Game Pass.
No,
he's smoking.
No.
And he was adamant it was getting announced this week and it was coming this year. I'm like, mate, they've got at least another 2 years of whipping GTA 5 online until they're ready for another Grand Theft Auto.
Rockstar and Take-Two have repeatedly said they don't agree with the Game Pass model. Like, they keep saying it. They don't agree with Game Pass.
Until Phil buys them.
Hold on. Harry, I'm sorry, Harry. It's easy to say you don't agree with something until Xbox comes and just takes their dick out and they're like, okay, here's $500 million. What are you going to do? I mean, let's not forget that GTA 5 was on Game Pass twice. They put GTA 5 on Game Pass twice. Now, I'm just saying, if they didn't believe in it, right, they'd have stayed off on principle. But there was a price for them to put it on Game Pass. So
everyone's got a price.
So there's a price for them to put GTA 6 day one on Game. I'm not saying they're gonna do it. I'm just saying there's a price.
I could see them dropping the big bucks to get exclusivity for like 6 months on the game. Maybe not on Game Pass, but to have it come first to Xbox. Not like they did with GTA 4. Because they did it with 4, and that was a big bombshell when he went whoosh, and he had the tattoo. I'm still waiting for the one where Phil pulls his trousers down. It's got GTA 6 on his arse. That's what I'm waiting. Kiss my ass club.
GTA 4 wasn't for exclusivity. That was just to get it because it was exclusive prior to that.
No, but all the DLC came out like 6 months before the PlayStation or something. All the extra campaigns came out first on Xbox.
Yeah. The thing was the fact that it was just coming.
I know. Well, the fact that they turned it down, like if you watch that Xbox On documentary, Xbox went, "Nah, that's not going to do very well. That sounds shit." That I bet they're kicking themselves.
Idiots.
What's more realistic is I'll go to Nintendo and offer to buy them. They'll take that money.
I bet Nintendo, if you went with a big bag of money, would sell nowadays. Honestly.
They said they laughed, didn't they?
What?
Yeah.
Them in the room.
With a big enough bag of money, anyone would take it. You can laugh all you like, but when it gets to a certain amount, you start kissing ass.
If Nintendo stopped making games or making any money today, they have 140 years worth of reserve money. So they could have all of their current expenditure that they have right now, and if they ceased operations, they would be able to survive for 140 years.
Where did you get that information?
Nintendo release all of their information on their incomings and outgoings, so it's all on the Japanese stock market. And someone worked it out that it's over 100 years worth of pure profit in their banks.
I know, but but then everyone starts tanking the stocks when they're not making any money. Though you've got it,
Yeah, no,
but then
it's just actual reserve.
I agree. But when they start taking their
Sure
stocks out, though, it drops dramatically. Though, obviously it's never going to happen, though. But I just want Nintendo to give a shit and try. Just give us a console that's powerful. Stop making these PS old 2-generation old graphics games. I mean, yes, they're fun, but put some effort in. Stop that new Pokemon game they showed had some great innovations which should have been in 10 years ago.
Ash, let me play devil's advocate here. You're one of the shareholders at Nintendo, one of the big bosses that actually makes a profit. Not these console warriors that love something that doesn't give them 1 cent. You're someone that actually makes money when a Nintendo console or cartridge is sold. And someone tells you we can make a new Pokemon, and if we don't make it like super next gen, we're gonna make $600 million. And then he also says, but we can make it like super realistic and make it like God of War, and we'll make $400 million. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, true. Oh, I understand. I totally get why they do it. I just wish they would try a bit harder.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the PlayStation exclusives, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
If you know you've got people that are willing to pay $100 for a game, you should sell it at 110. See what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Discount it to 100 in a month.
Yeah.
You know what? If the PlayStation fan base are willing to pay $1,000 for one game, charge them $1,000. That's what I think these companies will always do.
Oh yeah.
So Nintendo, until they have to up their game for their bottom line, they'll never do it. And in terms of like fiscal responsibility, it's the right thing to do.
Oh yeah. And talking of charging someone like $1,000 for a game, PlayStation's currently charging that for Tekken 2, isn't it, or something like that? Someone's
10,000.
10,000. Yeah, someone's clearly pushed the wrong button there. And
to be fair, Tekken is the greatest fighting.
I know, but Tekken 3 is better than 2. I dread to think what they're charging for Tekken 3 if they're charging 10,000 for Tekken 2.
20.
The greatest fighting game of all time.
Nah,
Street Fighter.
Nah. Tekken is so much better than Street Fighter.
Stop it. Ginna, I think you're stuck on Street Fighter because of nostalgia. Let's move forward, guys. 2D fighters can never be better than 3D fighters. Maybe back in the day. I'm talking about now. Right now, the best fighter, first off, before we go into mechanics and all these other things, the first thing, is it 3D? Okay, we can have a conversation. If it's 2D, sit down in the corner, please.
Do you not like Mortal Kombat?
That's 2D. That's 3D.
I like it. But all I'm saying is just because black and white movies are nice doesn't mean you can now say that they're as relevant as 4K color TV or movies. That's all I'm saying. They're nice for Lighthouse and stuff, you know.
Some games deserve to be in 2D, like Sonic. You move to 3D, it ruins the beauty of what makes it great.
Yeah. That's fair.
Like
That's fair.
Well.
I'll take that one.
Tekken is good, especially Tekken Tag. Those games are class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tekken Tags. Good.
I forgot where we're up to now. Where were we? Persona. Right, we've done Persona. Then they wheeled Kojima out for the world's quickest
goodness.
announcement. It's like, hello, I'm doing something on Xbox. Goodbye, and it set Twitter on fire. And literally, they had to put out a press release, Kojima Productions today, saying, "Don't worry, we still like PlayStation. Don't kill us," because all the fanboys went mad that they basically announced that Kojima's doing a game exclusively on Xbox as such. So.
Yeah.
Did he say exclusive to Xbox?
Yeah.
Or did he say that he's working in conjunction with Xbox?
I would assume that means exclusive. I don't know. It's been a few nights.
I just think it means he's using Azure to make the new game. I don't think it's going to be Xbox console exclusive.
I think it'll be They wouldn't have put him on Showcase to just say, "Oh, he's using our technology." He's making a game for Xbox, and it'll be on PC as well because they're not. And it'll be on phones and stuff. But I just hope it's not Death Stranding. It's like when he. No offense to Kojima, he's got a great mind.
Makes a good point though.
And yeah, he does. But like with Kojima, he makes great games. Like Metal Gear Solids are fantastic, but that was when he was answering to someone. Death Stranding is a bit weird and is a bit out there when he had free reign, and
Hey,
it wasn't as good as
are
Metal
you
Gear
gonna
Solid.
bash Death Stranding right now? Are you
It's
gonna
not my
bash
cup of
Death
tea.
Stranding?
It's just a bit weird. It's like a Marmite game. You either love it or you think it's awful. But I just hope
So
I hope he just
30
I hope he
minutes
does a
ago,
great
you were
game that
saying
isn't
you
too
should
out of the
embrace
box.
and try different things. But you just said we need to try different things.
No, but I
Or
want
should we try different
Kojima to
things
do
that
a good
you
game. I just don't want him to go I don't want him to spend like 20 years work tinkering away on this because it's a passion project that he's always wanted to make, and it gets delayed and delayed and delayed. He needs a bit of reining in, just that little bit to make it good. And then I don't want him to see him release a director's cut of it a year later. Just fucking do the full game when it's ready. No director's cuts. No weird racing game additions added into your post-delivery game. No.
But what about?
Wow, you have a real problem with Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Starfield looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Which one?
Starfield looks pretty good.
I'm looking forward to this Kojima game. Like I say, Metal Gear Solids are awesome. I just didn't like Death Stranding, and I just felt like it was because he just had too much free reign. And I'm hoping it.
Yeah. When I get my PS5, I'll give it a blast.
Yeah, I'll play it on PS Plus when it gets added.
You haven't tried Death Stranding.
I played it on PC when it came out. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Oh, my laptop won't run.
You should stream it. Ginna,
no one wants to watch him sleep, though.
To see if you're gonna fall asleep. I want to see if you fall asleep.
But
I want to
like
see it.
quite boring games where you walk around and you make your own fun. They're amazing for me. Like I've put hundreds of hours into Minecraft Creative.
It's not Minecraft.
So... Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, I agree with Indie Gamer. He is a visionary, whether you love his games or not. Like, that's what I mean, though. I prefer like his stuff under Konami. I know the last one wasn't ideal of how he wanted it, but it's still a damn good game. And sometimes, and this isn't with this is with all games.
Not even finished.
Someone who when devs get left to their own devices, it can go to shit. Having like an exec or someone higher up come in and say, maybe don't do that, or why don't you do this, can make a game better, whether people want to admit to it or not. Sometimes you've got to have a bit of scope, and that's all I'm hoping. He doesn't end up spending like they're going to laud this Kojima deal, and then 20 years time it's still not here. It's worse than bloody Scalebound, because it's worse than Duke Nukem Forever. It's still coming. He's still tinkering away on the cloud at it. And it turns out to be Crackdown 4. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want that. I want him to make a shit hot game. So, and he's not going to have time for this cloud game. According to you guys, he's not going to have time for this cloud game because we're buying Konami. Phil's getting Konami, and he's going to give him Metal Gear Solid back, and then he's going to have to do Silent Hill and stuff. So he's going to be busy. He's never going to do this cloud game. That's what I mean.
There's a good chance that this game never comes out. Or there's a good chance it takes 10 to 15 years to come out because, like you said, Kojima's got this thing of taking his time, and two, Phil Spencer is very vocal, and even the new teams inside Xbox confirm that Phil Spencer does not meddle.
Yeah,
he's very hands-off. So that's very risky with Kojima.
Someone said, Thimber said in chat that it's apparently called Overdose and it's a horror game. That's what's leaking online at the moment. Not confirmed, though.
What I personally think is that the game itself won't ever release. But I think what Kojima will do is he will put things in place that will help. Well, I think it might be like, was it PT, playable trailer? I think it might be something along those lines where he puts things in place that other studios at Xbox can then sort of leap off from.
So he's going to head up the initiative.
No, I think basically he is going to be the visionary behind Xbox's cloud future.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox had an entire showcase on just cloud gaming, and I think he is going to be the person that is going to show all of these studios what can be done utilizing the cloud, because Death Stranding does utilize the cloud in some way where
Yeah,
people
the social.
will converse and it will make changes. So I think that he will come in, and it won't necessarily be that he will make the game he's always wanted to, but he will make something for Xbox, and it will be like more of a live interactive experience that will then showcase what can be done with cloud gaming that Xbox will then use within their studio. So I don't think this is going to be a huge release.
It's going to be
I
Abandoned
think
2.
personally it's going to yeah, but I think it's going to be something along the
you
lines
cannot
of
slander
PT.
Kojima like that.
I think it will be something along the lines of PT playable trailer, where it is a short, concise experience to just show this is what can be done, like the Matrix Unreal Engine 5 experience. I think that's what he's going to
Can you
make,
imagine if it comes out? It's like a 30-minute game. Oh man, that'd be amazing.
That was a letdown.
I think he'll make it.
That was a letdown.
I think he'll make it in 2 years. It'll be a very quick 30-minute to an hour experience, and this is what I can do with a cloud game. And
that's shorter than a cutscene in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be a really tight package. I don't think it's going to be a full
I hope
game.
not. I hope not.
It's just going to be like the Matrix experience in Unreal 5. I think it's going to be that sort of thing for cloud gaming. I think people are really overblowing what this is probably going to be.
I really hope that's for it.
Wow.
He said, "Oh, we called it a cloud experience." He said, "Just to clarify, it is definitely a game." He said that today because I think people were like, "Yeah, you've worded it really weird." So he was like, "It's definitely a game." But yeah,
for me, all he's saying there is it's not a cutscene. Like a game is something that you just have inputs in. So I think it's just going to be a very loose interpretation of the term game, and I think that they're using the word experience very, very conveniently. I don't think it's what everyone thinks it's going to be.
Terry, you're breaking my heart, man.
It's going to be a sequel to that
good
game where you hit the brick.
That's it. I was just thinking something like that.
Using the cloud, you can all do it at the same time, and it reacts to everyone hitting it.
Honestly, I think it will be like. I think personally, if they've said that it's a horror experience, I think it's going to be that you interact with other people's games and you act as like a poltergeist. And I think it's going to be set in a haunted house, and other players on the cloud are seamlessly ghosts. And that's what I think it's going to be more like. So it's going to be like a haunted house experience through
I hope you're
Atlas,
wrong.
Azure
if
cloud
Xbox are paying for this, okay? If they're paying for it and they put it right before Starfield,
I think it's going to be. I think the name Kojima is what's has got people's attention, not the game. Kojima could make any game on Xbox and people would be like, "Oh, it's great, it's Kojima." I think what they want him to do is be like, "Here's an idea, make it, and then we will show all of these other studios how it can be done." Because cloud is where Xbox want to go. That's their future. So I'm putting the dampeners on my expectations for it.
Man,
You've proper bummed this out, haven't you? God. Do you know what I thought Starfield looked like? Shit. There we go. Let's proper throw it in there. I thought the first sort of the gameplay bit at the beginning where they come onto that really boring empty planet was rubbish, but the rest of it looked really good. Like the customization, the ship customization, all those really beautiful planets they showed off, all of the cities, all of the ones with like the giant dinosaurs and stuff on it. Those sort of planets look fantastic, and the thousands of planets, it looked and sounded great. But that little bit of gameplay they showed off on that boring crater that looked like it was filmed in a quarry in Wales for an episode of Red Dwarf, and then they go into like a boring beige space station with fighting generic space blokes for 5 minutes. Out of all of the game, they picked the most boring looking areas, yet the rest of it looked fantastic. I still really want to play it. I think it looked great. I'm just baffled why they chose that bit for the gameplay reveal, and it's just a bit odd.
It's probably one of the only bits that's finished.
That's it, yeah. It's the only bit that had a stable frame rate because there's nothing else there.
Yeah.
But it goes negative though, because then people were arguing on Twitter, look how bland and boring it looks. not talking about the pictures they showed later and the little snippets, but the gameplay they showed was it was a weird. I wouldn't have picked it if it was me, but
For me, they had to show gameplay.
oh
And
yeah,
it's the only stable game. It's the only stable gameplay they could show. That's what I think. I genuinely think the game is in a position where it isn't fully optimized because of their absolute piece of shit engine that they use, and they're fighting against the engine, and that's the only bit of gameplay that they could properly show that worked. That like we know this will have a stable frame rate, and we know that we can show it off. What did worry me is all those quick cuts. What were those quick cuts skipping out? Were there like texture models going wrong? Were there physics models not working? Were the bodies disappearing? Like there was a lot of quick cuts throughout it that I don't think made any sense.
apparently there was an
However,
NPC with its
like-
head on backwards at one point in the background of one of the shots as well. I've seen a video. I don't know if that's been edited or anything, but I did see that and it did make me chuckle a little bit. And I'm like, that's just Skyrim, isn't it? Every village you go into, there's someone with like an arm through the head or something in Skyrim.
It's going to be Skyrim in space.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The modding community is going to get hold of this game, and it's
going to be amazing.
Insane.
Well,
Yeah.
Fallout was they wanted that train system and the monorail, and I don't know if you've ever seen the model for how that works. It's a person.
It's a
but
running person, isn't it?
They've replaced the head with a train, and the body is under the ground, so you can't see it, and it's literally just running around. And that's what moves the train. That's the only way they could do it. They couldn't just make a train move. They had to get a person and stick a train on his head. And I think I always imagine the engine they use is like that episode of Father Ted where he gets the new car and he gets that little dent and then he gets the hammer and he tries to hammer out that tiny dent and then he's another one and it comes back to him and the whole thing is like all the panels are dented and all over the place and it's just shambles. And I imagine that's what it's like. They go, oh, there's a little bug here. Let me just fix that. Oh, there's another one, and it just escalates. So.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to Macho Man mods coming in, though. That Macho Man spider thing. Can't wait to see that on a planet in space. It's going to be amazing.
I thought it looked really good. The space battles look great. The base building, the designing your own ships, all that. Like, I'm massive into sci-fi, so all of that really appealed to me. So
I'm not saying it looked terrible overall.
But I loved Oblivion. Like, and when I saw this, I got those vibes again of just where you come out the world in front of you. Like, I couldn't get into Skyrim, but I'm hoping this one I can get into as well because I think it looks fantastic.
I loved Oblivion and could never get into Skyrim either.
When he was doing the shooting, it wasn't the best, and he picked up that gun in the crate and he was like, "This is going to be amazing," and it looked like he was shooting staples at people. Like there was just no impact.
Oh, and the way he threw the grenade at that bloke and then killed him before the grenade killed him. Like, what's the point of throwing the grenade?
I like the quirkiness of the games, though. You know what you're getting into. You're going to play 100 hours, and you're going to need 3 or 4 saves you alternate between for the point where it breaks, and then you go back a few hours, and you've only lost those few hours.
There you go.
If you play against the game and you only have 1 game save going at a time, you are a brave person.
That's me.
Oh, you maverick.
Thank you. Honestly, again, I just want to repeat again, guys. Like when they announced this game, I wasn't even looking for gameplay. My only question was, what's the engine? As soon as they said the creation engine, I was like, okay, it's gonna be Skyrim or Fallout. And people killed me, especially my co-host. They killed me like, no man, it's gonna be different. It's an updated version. I'm like, guys, it's still the creation engine. You can update everything you want, but the bones are the same. So it's same shit, different day. So yeah, man, I'm not disappointed because I wasn't expecting anything amazing from Starfield in terms of graphics. The gameplay looks as standard as Fallout 4. I'm gonna play it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna play
definitely.
the crap out of it. But I'm not. I was never expecting anything visually to blow me away. And I hope that this is the end of the creation engine. I hope people complain a lot to Xbox because unlike PlayStation, Xbox seems to actually listen to people. And Starfield was already in development when Bethesda were acquired. So I hope enough of these execs are hearing people complain about the creation engine and we can just move on from this antique.
Bethesda had a lot of engines. All the different studios seem to use different engines. They've just never crossed. This might be the one that works best for the type of RPGs they make. The other ones might not transition as well, which is a shame because I imagine some of those other engines are beautiful. It'd be great to see what they could do with them, but it just might not work for what they're trying. Like, remember when they tried to make Effect and other games
played
Frost?
Outer is it
botting out.
Outer Worlds? I think it's Outer Worlds.
Yeah, we lost him, have we?
Outer Worlds. He said, "Did you ever play Outer Worlds?" Though that was what the question was.
Is that me?
Yeah,
Did I
you
botch
started lagging out
Yeah.
there for a second.
Someone does want me talking about Outer Worlds. I'm just saying, in terms of RPGs, you can use other engines.
Todd Howard's come
doesn't
on. He's
have
like,
to
"I'm
be
shutting this down."
I'm just saying, there's other engines. Just please, just try some. You know what? Even if it fails, just try something else. At this point, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let the creation engine die.
I'm looking forward to the game though. Like I say, I mean, bar the choice of gameplay they showed, which, like I say, they had to show gameplay. It looked fine. It was just, like I say, it just looked a bit bland, that section. But then after that, everything looked amazing. What they showed, like
Everything else was brilliant. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
really hyped for it, and I'll definitely play it. But I just don't get why they showed that really generic gameplay. But what you were saying, Harry, does make a bit of sense. Do you know what I mean? So
It has to be that is the only bit of gameplay that was properly stable and enough to work. That's all I can think.
It's amazing that
Definitely.
he said the game's finished and working. It's just polish, and by polish he means getting everything to work.
Yeah. Also, another reason why I hate this creation engine thing is that essentially I have to get a gamer PC to play the best version of Starfield or Skyrim or Fallout. That's what I need to do.
Make games run within a week of it being released. Like, these developers spend years and years put it together, and one guy in his basement in a week will be like, "Yeah, here's everything fixed for you."
That's crazy.
That's
And
literally
also,
how it
The
works.
problem is that I can't remember what the phrase is called.
Oh,
Todd Howard's shutting that down today. He's like, "No, you talk bad about my games. Get off."
get off.
Hang on.
Todd Howard's having none of this back chat today, boys.
It's really, I can't remember what the phrase is, and then left. He's like, "I can't remember."
In game development, I think it's called like time adjustment. Someone in the chat will probably know this, but basically it's like you lose time by doing something wrong, and that time is then put at the end of the project. And so you might make an asset and it's slightly wrong, so that means that someone else has to come in and fix it, and they have to adjust for the time that you've lost. And when all of these little things keep going wrong, it stacks up, and you just lose time that could be spent developing new stuff that has to be spent on assets or command chains or coding lines that just don't work. And so what you find with the creation engine especially, and this is exactly as Llouck was saying, is that so many little things go wrong that what actually happens is, by polishing the game, they have to go in and find time that they've lost through the development cycle. So they will have like 2 hours of a day, every day will be lost to fixing 3 hours worth of stuff that went wrong the day before. So then you get to the state where the game is finished, and then the last 6 months is just complete lost time. Like, that's all it is just time that has been lost elsewhere. So I think the fact that this game is coming out in 6 to 8 months' time, the gameplay footage that we're being shown is just the footage that they could get because of all that lost time they've already had. It has to be. I can't remember what it's called.
Goggle or Google post said, "Look at CD Projekt Red." I imagine that's probably what happened with Cyberpunk. It was
it
so
is
much
absolutely.
They kept fixing and fixing and fixing. It was like, yeah, it's got to come out eventually. We'll keep fixing afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ash, this one's for you, man.
Yeah.
Let Kojima polish his games. Okay.
There's got to be a limit, though. There's got to be a limit.
No.
Yeah.
When you do the polish, you get MGS1, MGS2, MGS3, MGS4. And then when you don't do the polish, you get MGS5.
Nah, they gave him a time limit on MGS4. They wouldn't have let him go for another two odd years if he wanted to. He had a time limit. Obviously, give him a lot of like space to do it and a lot of sort of breathing room. I don't want to like rein him in like you've got to do it in 12 months, 24 months. Give him as much time but like when it starts to rack up, like you want to see some investment in your return, like returning your investment, should I say? So, but apparently it's only going to be doing it in like he's going to be doing it in 6 months. He's doing a quick, cheap mobile game, according to Harry. So it's all good. He's literally all he's doing is it's just going to be Angry Birds, but with his face on the birds, and the pigs will be someone from Konami or something like that.
I think it's going to be a very Kojima experience. It's going to be like spending an hour and a half in the mind of Kojima.
Are you telling me if he didn't put a game out that was like Flappy Birds or something, and it was just his face with weird shit around, you wouldn't go, that's a Kojima game? Like everyone would lap that shit up. He could literally sell you that. He would send you for a ringer. He would.
No.
They'd love it.
Harry, when this game comes out and it's more than an hour long, I will find you. I will find you.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I really hope that I'm wrong. But
he's not got any time though. He's busy with Abandon. Like I say, he's not got much time to work on his own game. He's super busy.
You need to stop comparing Kojima to a bunch of charlatans, please.
Oh, it's too funny though. The fact that people argued with us on Twitter about it previously is what's best.
They argued,
saying that it was that we've had some right. We've had them all, haven't we? You know, we've had some right nutters determined to tell me that Abandoned was Kojima, even though there was pretty much 100% proof it wasn't. The boxers in that Death Stranding director's cut, he knocks over a box of orange. And orange is the opposite of blue on the colour spectrum. And blue box make Abandoned, so that means Kojima is Abandoned. And the blue, yeah, mate, they went down a rabbit hole. That was literally their arguments. They were snorting something good that day.
We heard stranger stuff than that. So
linking Kojima to Abandoned
through some oranges.
Apparently he's working with Bloober Team as well, rebooting Silent Hill.
He's a busy bloke, isn't he? He's a busy guy.
He's doing everything.
Now he's got Flappy Birds to make too.
He has. He's cloud Flappy Birds, so everyone can play at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is going to make my Nintendo exclusive. Don't forget that.
He's currently working on a new Hot Wheels game as well.
I did see earlier on a question from Indie Gamer, and I think we've just missed it through the chat, but it's a very apt question. He said, what was everyone's favourite game of the show, the Xbox Showcase?
Well, since as we've come to the end of that, let's go through, each of us go through, say your favourite game and sort of like a rough score you would give the show. So, who wants to go first? Oh, well, that went well, didn't it?
I can get mine out of the way.
Go on then.
Cricket.
The game I'm most looking forward to is Cocoon, and I would give the show an 8 out of 10.
Go on, Ginna, your turn.
Don't you have to justify why you're giving it a score?
Well, you can.
Okay.
Flappy
Cocoon
Birds
looks great. I love Limbo. They didn't show many AAA titles, but I knew that they wouldn't do. Some of the stuff they showed, like Grounded and Sea of Thieves, didn't quite hit what I wanted it to. But overall, there's 30-something games coming to Game Pass in the next 12 months. So sort of look at it in a sense of that's like 2 or 3 every month for the next year. And I really, really want 1,000 planets in Starfield, please. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Go on then, Ginna.
So I'll start with my score. I'm the same as Harry. Actually, I was giving it an 8. There's a few games that I weren't looking forward to that I'm more hyped for after the show, and there's some like Dusk's Fall that is really tempered what I'm looking for in the game now. I'm kind of a bit, it's kind of put me off a few of the games, But it was an 8 out of 10 overall for me as well. There's a lot there to play in the next 12 months, which is what I wanted. There's a lot of gameplay. I mean, everyone wanted gameplay and not CGI of games out years in advance, and then people are unhappy. That's exactly what we got. Not me. It was good to see, we got what we asked for. Game I'm most looking forward to from the show, probably Starfield. I wasn't that excited before, but I am now. Or that one with the humans with the drugs is pretty cool. The Rick and Morty one. Really looking forward to that because it's going to be fun. But the game I'm most looking forward to from this last week of crazy events is actually Metal Hellsinger, and that was at Keeley's, and I feel dirty for saying it.
Boo,
his show. I know, but that's the game I'm most looking forward to from what I've seen this last week.
If we're talking about the entire showcase and not just Xbox, the Plucky Squire looks absolutely incredible.
No.
That's my most hyped game of the next year. The Plucky Squire looks absolutely amazing.
It's like you just mentioned Minecraft.
Cuphead meets It Takes Two. Yes, please.
No. Can I go next?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm giving the show a 10 out of 10.
Oh wow, he's going all in there.
I think it's the best. Yeah, all the balls deep. I think it's the best showcase I've seen this year. Actually, no, I know it's the best showcase I've seen this year. I literally got chills watching this show, and not because of the games, if I'm being honest. When Kojima came out, I lost my shit. Like, I'm screaming, I'm squealing like a little girl. I'm calling my wife. She's in the next room, and she comes running like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Kojima, it's fucking Kojima!" And she's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And like, her face says it. Her face says, "Who is this guy?" But she's trying to be, like very supportive. Like, "Oh wow, that's awesome." I don't know who this dude is. I'm like, "It's freaking Kojima!" Yeah. So yeah, for me, that was the moment. In terms of announcements, this year there hasn't been a bigger one, in my opinion. This is because I'm a big Kojima fan. I've played all the Metal Gear Solid games, back to front. I have been that extremist fanboy that you guys talk about and that we all make fun of today, but I'm a grown man now, so that looks ridiculous. And I can understand the significance of him making a game for Xbox. Okay, this is not a simple thing. Okay, this is Gerrard managing Man United. This is freaking. I can't think of another type of like fence jump at the moment. Point is, this was monumental, and I don't think people are hyping it up enough. In terms of games that I'm looking forward to, from the showcase, it'll be a generic option, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Wolong Fallen Dynasty. No gameplay, no nothing, just the trailer. It looks like it's my type of vibe.
Look like Dynasty zombies. I like that.
Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be fire. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Nice. I thought it was a fantastic show. I loved the way it was games coming this year, and I loved how much gameplay was shown. So it was, in that aspect, it was fantastic. Like, and loads of it was on Game Pass, which is just a bonus, like I say. My only downsides were the fact that they didn't say it was going to be for the next year. And I don't have a problem with that, but like, even I'd got a bit excited, like, I might see even a new trailer, for like a new CGI trailer for Fable or anything. And they just didn't mention it. If they'd have said this a week before, even the day before, I'd have given this score higher. But the show gets an 8 from me just because, one, I would have liked to have seen even if it was just a couple of sort of bigger announcements about further out things, whilst keeping the majority focused on the next year. And two, while it was literally every single game shown I was interested in, pretty much apart from Cocoon, which just didn't click with me, and it might click with me in the future. I'll rewatch the trailer. I'll check like it out when it comes on Game Pass, and I may be totally wrong. I may really love it, and I have done that before. I have played games where I thought I wasn't going to enjoy them, and I've ended up loving them. But some of the announcements were a bit naff. Like there was a lot of DLC updates, and I was disappointed by like the Sea of Thieves, how minuscule of an update it was for a show like this. I felt like they could have given us something more. So that's why it gets an 8 from me. Things I'm most looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the Hot Wheels expansion. Before all these new Hot Wheels games from Kojima come, I'm going to get my kicks in the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza. But game wise, my favourite of the show, it's between that Wo Long Fallen Destiny, which really piqued my interest. I just thought it looked cool. I like the style of it. I like that it's from Team Ninja. Or Naraka, the which I didn't think I was going to really like, but it's appealing to me and I really want to play it. But the one that most surprised me was Redfall. I have not been interested at all in Redfall. Watched that trailer and now I'm really hyped for it as well. So I'm actually looking forward to playing it. But so much cool indie games. Now, as of the week of whole, I haven't watched the Devolver show yet. So I couldn't comment on that. But out of all of the other shows I've watched, its best game is clearly Sonic Frontiers. Or the chess game from Netflix, because they're just mind-blowing. But no, I like so much. I want to play it. Literally 90% of what I've seen this week on pretty much every show I've gone, I'd play that. I want to play that. So I'm just spoiled. One thing though that stood out to me the most was the announcement last night on the Capcom show. The update coming to Resi 8 with a third-person mode. Like, you can play the entire campaign in third person, and I am now instantly interested because I don't enjoy Resident Evil in first person. It's a good game. It just doesn't feel like Resident Evil at all to me. It just feels like generic horror shooter. Now, having Resident Evil 8 in third person, I'm going to be all over that. Like, I was so shocked that was an announcement. So I can't wait to jump back into that and play it. And they're adding like mercenary mode into it and stuff like that, where you can play as Lady Damascus and like tower over people and sort of make them all these simps. It sounds amazing. And I'm not the biggest Resi 8 fan,
One thing I would say is that the Devolver showcase for me got a 9.5. It was the best show.
Nice.
That was excellent.
Devolver normally do a really amazing show. So it's on my list. We've been actually live streaming quite a lot of them and covering a lot. I had to take a break a couple of days, so I would probably watch it tonight or tomorrow. But so many amazing indie games. I can't even remember half of the names. There's been that many of them. I've got a pile as long as my arm saved. It's been such a good week. I like that a lot of the stuff's been focused on the coming year, not stupidly far out. Even Keely's show, a lot of it was within the next year. It wasn't megaton announcements for like 2 or 3 years' time. I wish more game shows did that, focusing on the now, what you can play now and in the near future. It's great to have that future, but we don't always need everything to be about the future. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just seeing if anyone in the chat have said
They updated Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 today, didn't they?
Yeah, with ray tracing and better resolution modes and stuff. Although the ray tracing apparently runs like arse in a couple of the games.
Yeah, so it's meant to be ray tracing 60, and there's 120 FPS mode in 7, isn't there? An optional one.
Something like that, yeah.
Third person in 7 as well. Well, they're meant to be adding it. So
I'd like to add something else. This past week for me has highlighted how privileged we are today. The amount of good games that are not only available but that will soon be available it's ridiculous. Like to say that we have options would be like insulting to what we have right now. Like, this is maybe not the golden age, but maybe a second golden age after the PS2 era. It's crazy. It's so many good games and so many genres and developers, and honestly, like, any gamer that you find that says they're a gamer and says that there are no games available to play or no good games to play is not a real gamer. It's just a cloud chaser. Seriously, it is crazy.
Red chat, He's saying 100% agree with you, but he joined in saying how disappointing all the shows have been and there's nothing he's liked. So.
Yeah, he literally said the Xbox show was a mid. Did he say 5 out of 10 or something like that? 5, 6 out of 10?
Where is this guy?
So
there was no Smite 2 announcement. That was his problem.
Yeah, call him out, call Redders out while he can't defend himself. But I agree with you. There's so much in so many different forms. Like I say, we've got Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo.
PC.
We've got PC. You've got Stadia and cloud gaming and all of those other things. There's been a resurgence in retro recently. We're getting so much like new retro content and retro themed sort of like retro-esque style content as well. It's just a fantastic time. And indie games are starting to take a spotlight, which is nice. So cannot complain. But we've
Even
been
the
here.
indie games are starting to look good.
Yes, and indie games are looking better than they ever have. Like when I used to think of indie games, I used to think of Net Yaros. You know, those horrible, really badly programmed ones you'd get on demo disc. That to me was indie. Nowadays, indie doesn't mean bad game.
A Plague Tale.
Yeah,
that's indie now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
I was going to say, what this week's shown me is that there's lots and lots of fake insiders that I now have added to my blog.
None of them were right. Not one of them. Not one
Wow.
insider said this showcase is going to be for the next 12 months. Not one of them said that.
No. Every showcase said GoldenEye, Banjo 3,
God of
they
War.
said Final Fantasy 7 remake. They said God of War would be announced. They said that there'll be a Fable date. They said that there would be Marcus Phoenix collections. That there would Gran Turismo coming to Xbox. Like so many.
Avowed was coming this year, and now today there's article saying it's in development hell because it didn't show. Jeez, calm down.
Yeah, you can't win, can you?
What it's shown, what this
Or you
last
can't
week
lose.
and a half has shown, is that there are a lot of people on Twitter who need to just go outside. They're like they're posting, they're like taking pictures of a screen where it's like, oh my god, someone's leaked the running order for the Xbox show. It's like
it's just
no,
Microsoft Word, and you've stuck a logo on the top.
I can see your cursor on the screen, you moron.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm not going to lie, though.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen GoldenEye, and it does look like it's coming because the achievements keep popping. Yeah. But I don't know why they haven't announced it. Maybe they'll announce it like Shadow announced it closer to the... Is it the 20th anniversary? Ready. Yeah.
It's the 60th anniversary of James Bond is this October. That's when it will be.
Yeah. So maybe they'll save it for then. But like I say, it's not end of world, but there was a lot.
When was the last time that Microsoft had their running order in Comic Sans in a Word document? Doesn't
with their logo, not even PNG on the top.
Yeah.
It is obviously an aerial place. Come on.
That's it. But yeah, like I say, ignore people online. No one knew, literally no one. Even the only person that knew something was true was Jeff Grubb, who said Kojima was making something with Xbox, and he was the only one that was right about that. Everyone else said he was wrong.
That was rumored a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I bet he came out. I bet when that came on the screen, he was like, glorious, and he was like smug as fuck.
He was a year ago
saying it was like, suck it.
In fairness to him, everyone's been calling him crazy. He's like, no, it's happening. It is happening.
Or has he just made it up and he's been banking on eventually it going to happen? Then he's like, yes, I knew that. I doubt it.
Who would have predicted that? Come on, the guy that's been with PlayStation for 20 years.
Just wait until tomorrow when Jeff Grubb is tweeting about a Kojima Hot Wheels game coming to Sea of Thieves, and then you know that we've made it.
Yeah, that's it. You know it's right when we've.
Officially licensed FIFA DLC.
Yeah.
What Kojima? So Kojima's making a Hot Wheels Sea of Thieves officially licensed FIFA DLC.
FIFA game.
Yeah.
FIFA,
Yeah,
a full
via the
game
cloud
via the cloud. Yeah.
with Flappy Bird.
What we learned is not only do fake insiders not know much, but people organizing and hosting these game events don't know much, because after the State of Play showed Street Fighter, Jeff Keighley tweeted out Street Fighter coming to PlayStation, and then Capcom announced shortly afterwards in a tweet it's also coming to PC and Xbox, and people were like, why are you hyping this for PlayStation? And he said the show only said PlayStation, so he didn't even know it was coming to other platforms.
Yeah.
He only knew. So, and he's running one of the big game shows, so a lot of these insiders saying I know everything. The guy hosting a game show that showed off the game a few days later didn't even know at that point it was coming to Xbox.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know about that one.
yeah.
So the moral of the story is just play games, enjoy them, play on whatever platform you want, and just ignore Twitter, because
But where am I going to get my
except our
clout?
Twitter page. Or you can play on cloud as well, whatever platform you want. You play wherever you want.
Clout, mate. Clout.
Oh, clout. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not
Where
worth
am I
it.
going to get that?
We've just told you we've got the clout. We're predicting that he's making these amazing Flappy Birds, Hot Wheels exclusive
Wheels,
games.
FIFA, Cloud, Flappy
gonna be
Bird, Sea
amazing.
of Thieves game.
Do you know what? If it ever
Get
comes
my-
true,
I'll
we'll
look
clip
in the
this and we'll come back to it like we're Nostradamus or something like that. We've predicted it.
Oh, no.
I'd laugh so much if you happened to bring out like a Flappy Birds mobile game. I'd laugh my ass off.
If
Yeah.
by some miracle Hot Wheels turns up in his game, I'm
And
done.
like Solid
That's
Snake's one of the car, like riding one of the cars. He's making that Microsoft Xbox kart racing game we've been on about for months.
Yes.
But it's cloud based, so you can. That's it. You see, because the oranges
Well,
fell out of the
Cloud.
box and they're orange, and that means he's making an
Cloud.
Xbox racing game.
Cloud is the main
Okay.
character in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's it.
So he's making a Final Fantasy VII Remake Hot Wheels kart racing game
That's
for
it.
Xbox.
What?
See,
You
boom.
heard it here first.
You've heard it here first.
That's happening.
And with that
You know how
megaton
he's
of
talking about it much, though. That's silent.
yeah. So so it's X Silent Hill at the end then.
You guys are off your rockers. That's not happening.
No proof it isn't though. They called Jeff Grubb
Prove me
crazy. Look at him now.
Prove me
laughing.
wrong.
Okay.
And on that
Prove me
big
wrong.
bombshell, we will call it a night because we normally do an hour and a half, and we've pretty much whacking this one out at this is wanking then, not whacking this one out at 3 hours. So it's been a massive one this week.
Whacking.
So crazy.
That's
So
the corner boy.
that's it. So thank you very much for joining, lads.
Rolling after, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Where
been
can
good, it's been
people
good.
find you? Tell people where they can find you, fine gentlemen.
My
So
address. I don't want
no, not your address.
weirdos on Twitter. showing up my house.
Oh, don't start on weirdos on Twitter. We had that a couple of weeks ago, mate.
So you can find me at Harry Go Lockie on Twitter. You can find our main podcast Twitter account is at Gamers Watch Crew. That's the same on YouTube, Gamers Watch Podcast. Hit the subscribe button and like and all that jazz. We're actually off for the next 3 weeks. We are coming back on July the 4th for a very special show that we're putting together at the moment. I want to say what it is because we've actually got some very, very cool people involved in it, and some people that we are excited to
Kojima
talk about,
talking about his
but I
Hot Wheels
can't-
game.
It's probably Kojima
Yeah.
showing up on the show.
No comments. But no, we've got some,
He didn't deny
we've
it.
got some cool things. We've got some cool things lined up, and the season 4 opener on July 4th is going to be a full-on show, not just a podcast episode. We're really excited about it, but I am not allowed to say any more. We are completely rebranding, so very excited. So yeah, Gamers Watch Podcast on YouTube, Gamers Watch Crew on Twitter. I just smacked my microphone, sorry about that. And yeah, at Harry Go Lockie on Twitter as well. Follow me for really shitty Halo takes.
Yeah, I can confirm they're pretty shitty.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Llouck7. That's LLOUCK7. The podcast is at TSWS Gaming. We do weekly streams on Fridays, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz, like Harry said.
I forgot what your Twitter is, Ginna, so you can tell the fine people. I know it'll be in the chat, probably the description. I think Redders will put it in because he set it all up. So
you can find me here. I ditched my own channel, and I'm slowly going to be moving a lot of the content and shows over to here.
Only the best ones.
Yeah, for those interested, because I know quite a few people watched Gaming Room 101. We're going to bring that across the first series before we do a second series of it, because I love doing that show. So that's not dying with the channel. That's coming over because it's just bonkers. And then you can find me on Twitter at TheGinnaGaming, because I had an old profile called TheGinna and I locked myself out years ago, so that name's taken. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Or travel to Wales. I'm there too if you want to see me in person.
I'm going to see you soon, aren't I? It's only a couple of months. I'll be down in Wales again.
I know. I really need to arrange something. You were like, "Oh, you can plan something for when I'm down," and I've done nothing. There's gonna be round. The wrestling's on.
That's what I'm coming down for. I can fit you in on a Friday evening. We can have five. We can have a couple of drinks.
They put the beers
suplex each other through the kitchen table.
That's it. I'm stopping at yours. I didn't tell you. I'm stopping at yours to save on hotel fees, so it's going to be great.
But yeah, Ed Sheeran, the bars will normally charge £3 odd, put their prices up to £6 a night that night.
I know, but I'm staying near where you live in one of those crappy hotels, so it'll be dirt cheap. I'm not staying in Cardiff.
But you're miles away from the gig. You're going to get
a
taxi, fare running up, and you're going to go, it would have been cheaper just to book one.
No, I'm driving. I'm just going to drive into Cardiff and park up, so...
You say that like it's an easy thing to do.
Be right. I'm going in early. I'm going to walk around Castle. I'm going to look at where they filmed Doctor Who and that. That'll be all good. Fantastic.
I'll give you a little itinerary of places to see.
That's it. Yeah, I want the inside scoop of all of the cool places.
Do you remember? He's gone off Twitter recently. Methodical Meme Machine, funny guy. Used to make lots of funny tweets and all that stuff. I know where he is, so I can take you to the city in the area that he is, but not show you because that would be going too far. So.
That's his house. That's his window.
That's his missus with a shopping. All right, love.
Sit in that bush. You can watch him get changed.
Oh, I've given away. He's got a missus. I've gone too far. I've doxed him.
Oh, well, you can find me at @I'm_Ghostbuster with a 0 instead of the O on Twitter. You can find the channel at XBL Party Podcast on pretty much everything on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What else we got? Twitch, TikTok, everywhere at XBL Party Podcast. We've got the website www.xblpartypodcast.com. I'm tired, mate. It's nearly 11 o'clock. I'm normally asleep by now on a Tuesday now. xblpartypodcast.com.
World Wide Web.
That's it. On the worldy widey web, on the intranets, you can find us. We do like daily news posts, reviews, all that sort of stuff. I've been your host, Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster. I'm assuming Redders will be back next week to join us because he's a massive letdown this week. But yeah, it'll probably be him, so I'll not have to worry about doing all this next week. So thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. Pardon?
Are we on later next week? Is that next week we start later?
I hope not. I'm not here if we are later. I'm going home. That's it. I'm going to bed. Because...
Follow us on Twitter. We'll let you know.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. If anything ever changes, we'll let you know there. But we do reviews on the YouTube. We do live streams. Obviously, we've got some original shows coming soon, like Ginna said, and we're going to be bringing some more over. So keep an eye out on the channel. Loads coming. And like I say, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Like I say, thank you for everyone who's been listening all the way along. Meisuko, Indie Gamer, Thimber, Gogol Poe. I'm going through to find everyone who's been talking. There's been so much chat. It's taking me forever. There was Sensei, Berserker, loads. It's been so busy. Cozy Beluga, like I say, all you guys. If I've missed anyone, I apologise. But I'm Muppet. He was here earlier as well. Means a lot to us, like I say, especially when we're doing like a 3-hour episode. It's absolutely crazy. But this has been a crazy week. So much to see. And like I say, please check out all these showcases on YouTube. Watch them in the 4K versions. The Xbox showcase, it's like at another level when you watch it in 4K. It looks bloody amazing compared to the 1080 sort of P version they put out when it first aired. Night and day difference.
1 hour of the show has been our intro and outro.
That's it, yeah.
We're really trying these parts out today, aren't we?
We are. I apologise, guys. We're going now. See you later. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Are we off?
No, we're going to be. I just messed it totally up and put the wrong image on. So now we're going. Bye, guys.